That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Smith, 40-year-old boy podcast. That was a loud hey. Jesus Christ. I need to retake that. Hey. Well, it might have just been loud to me because I'm sitting right here. Although it may have been loud in your ears too. I can't hear what goes on in your earbuds, folks. I know you're all sporting the very special tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds, and they have that loudness booster just for my show. If you buy them from tweakedaudio.com/40, you get the loudness booster that makes my voice sound that much louder. Folks, we have an interesting show for you this week. I don't know if interesting beginning, certainly. This is where the rubber meets the road, so they say. This is where we separate the men from the boys. This is where we find another cliche that it will come to mind eventually, and I'll be able to say it, and it won't apply in this situation, and you'll look back and go, why the fuck did he say those things? 'Cause he was filling dead air. That's why. See, this is an interesting thing, because podcasting is a new medium. All right, and it's a do-it-yourself deal, and everybody shows up, and they can do it themselves in a kitchen. I'm in my friend Lily's kitchen. You could be in your kitchen. We could be in a kitchen together. Maybe you do that. Maybe you get together in groups in kitchens all over America. Because I know, it's funny, my friends Dave and Erica, who are still my friends independently, but they used to be my friends together, but they used to get together and listen to the show in a garage together every week. And now they listen to it separately, I think. I hope. I hope so, since Erica's married and moved on, and David is busy with his life. I would hate to think that somehow, well, actually, bullshit. I don't hate to think. I would love to think that somehow, every week, the two of them got together in that garage and listened. That was the one thing they kept. Even though everything had been torn asunder, even though everybody has moved on with their lives and everybody's happy and they shook hands and they called it a draw and it was a cat's game and everything worked out that way, I would like to think that even though that all happened, they said, you know what though? The one thing we will keep, let's just keep Mike. Let's have joint custody of Mike every week. And then one of them goes to the other person's garage and they sit there and they listen and they drink, or whatever what they did. I don't know what they did. But that's the best way to listen to the show, by the way, is drinking. So perhaps you listen to me somewhere special. Perhaps you have a routine. Maybe you're on a treadmill. Perhaps you're in a kayak. I have no idea how you run your lives, folks. I certainly don't know who's out kayaking in October. That seems really odd. It depends on what country you're in. Is it kayaking weather all over the world? Because in the United States, I will tell you, certainly not kayaking weather. Oh, bullshit. Actually, it was 85 here today. But all right, truth be told, let's go really way back on this. Never been in a kayak. Don't know what kayaking weather is. So I might be able to tell you that it is kayaking weather and it's not kayaking weather. Please know that my opinion comes from nothing. I have a completely ungrounded opinion because I've never been in a kayak. I don't know where they're stored. I don't know, because a kayak, is that the whitewater rafting thing? That's a kayak, right? That's not a canoe. Because I know is there a difference between a canoe and a kayak? Our friend Lily is nodding and says that there is one, but she apparently doesn't want to tell me what it is. She's going to nod and withhold the information.
Unit,
all right.
Guy who kayaked.
Uh-huh.
They were both paraplegics from the waist down.
Okay.
Kayaks you sit in and they're a long boat like a canoe, but they generally only sit one person and your legs fit inside of it.
So canoes are for regular healthy people.
Canoes are big and wide for a bunch of people.
And kayaks are for cripples. All right, I've got it. Right now you've gone ahead.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing it out.
Okay.
Well, you were nodding. I knew you knew. I knew if I was going to turn to anyone, it was going to be my friend Lily. And she knew. She knows that canoes are for the regular and the strong, and that kayaks are for the crippled and the weak. So, all right. So if you're out there now, if you find yourself in a wheelchair of some sort, if you have a bad injury, if your body is giving out on you, please know that no matter what happens in the future, you'll always have kayaking. But let me tell you something, Limpy. Do not even think about getting in a fucking canoe. That's for me, goddammit. You want to hop in a kayak and enjoy yourself? That's fine. Wait a minute. You can't hop in a kayak. If you want us to roll your chair to the end of the pier and dump your gimpy ass in a fucking kayak, then enjoy it. And that's fine. But let me tell you something. Do not even think about getting in my fucking canoe, because in my canoe, people stand the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Climb into a kayak and wrap it around yourself and pretend that you've got long legs. That's what you got to do. But in a canoe, you know what? That's where healthy people are. We're all going out. You know what we're doing? We get in our canoe to cross the river to go run. That's what we're going to go do.
Oh, man.
You can hop in your kayak and fucking wrap it around your waist and go, wee, I have legs again. And then you sail down the fucking ocean or whatever the fuck you do. Is it an ocean? I don't know where you bring your kayak because, again, I'm not one of you. You broke dick motherfuckers in your kayaks, ruining it for everybody. Look at this. I can't even get my canoe on the river because of all that kayak traffic because it's the only time you feel free. On the earth, on land, on dirt, on ground, you're bound to the chair and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so crippled. But on the kayak, you're free. And so all of you hop into your kayaks and you go out on the fucking lake in the ocean and then none of us healthy people can get our fucking canoes out there because you're fucking pillar to post. You're from shore to shore. You're from sea to goddamn shining sea pretending that you're still whole people when you're not. Fuck that. I speak for the canoes. Get the fuck out of the way, kayak. And while we're at it, if you can't walk, stop buying fucking shoes.
Oh my God.
All right? They're for us. They're for people who still have ambulatory legs. There are people who can get them. They're for bipeds who can actually perform the instinctive qualities of a biped, as in walking and dancing.
Oh my God.
You don't need to protect your feet. Cut them off, for fuck's sake. Now, a lot of you are sitting there and you're thinking, where is this rage coming from? Why is Mike so angry at the handicapped? Well, I'm really not. This is a classic case of transference, folks. And by the way, don't take that to mean that I'm not angry a little bit at the handicapped, because I certainly am. I think all of us have a bone to pick with those gimpy motherfuckers. By all means, all of us, every single one, even the handicapped have a bone to pick with themselves. Although not their femurs, because again, useless. So. See, in the old days, there was an adage where they would say, the show must go on. And what that really meant was, the show could go on, but also you had to pretend that everything was okay when you were doing the show. It wasn't like an actor could show up after, to a play and like his wife had died and then he can go mope through his performance. And everybody's be like, oh man, what the fuck's wrong with that dude? Well, his wife died this afternoon. I don't give a fuck. I paid to see Willy Loman. Hold on, that's the worst example ever, because that's exactly what Willy Loman does the entire show. He mopes through the whole fucking thing. I gotta be honest with you, if you're gonna cast an actor to play Willy Loman, make sure his wife has terminal cancer, because you're gonna get the best Willy Loman you've ever gotten in your life. If you're a director, a casting director, anybody in power, if you're looking for a Willy Loman, scour the hospitals. Find a sick wife and see the guy holding his hat next to her and go, you're my Loman. So the whole point is you're supposed to put on a happy face and you're supposed to pretend that everything's okay. That's what the show must go on meant back then. But podcasting is different. I mean, I could basically do whatever the fuck I wanted here, and you could choose whether you wanted to listen to it, of course. That's also the beauty of podcasting. Although I guess that's really the beauty of all entertainment. Let's be honest. If you were watching a play and a guy was shitty in it, you walk out, right? You could do that. I don't even know what I'm talking about, folks. Basically, I'm just trying to get to a point. And that point is I had a crossroads a second ago here in my friend Lily's apartment. I sat here staring at the rug because Lily yelled at me in a weird way, like in a fucking shut the fuck up you dumbass way. And it's like, I didn't even think it merited that. If I had done something stupid, I guess I would understand that and I would go, all right, well, I deserve that. But I didn't. It was a dumb fucking argument over a fucking phone charger. And I'm a child. I'm 8 years old, so I kind of hang on to a point and I won't let it go, and I maybe ask too many questions. But finally she just goes, I'm done. And I go, what do you mean you're done? We're talking about a phone charger. She's like, I'm done. And I go, yeah, I don't care that you're done. I just have one question. And she goes, I'm done. And that was it. She was done fucking talking to me like I was a fucking nobody. Like I didn't know her for 8 fucking years. Like I had no expectation of graciousness at all in the moment where she would kind of understand that we were just having a discussion as friends, even though I guess maybe I pushed it too far, whatever the fuck I did. I don't know. I really don't. And then I sat here and went, leave. Everything in my fucking body said, leave. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. Because I don't want to be treated like that by anybody, let alone somebody I love. It just seems ridiculous. And I'm making too much of it, absolutely, because that's what I fucking do. Of course, I'm a fucking, literally, this show starts as a tiny snowball, and at the end, hundreds are dead at the bottom of a ravine. I mean, I get that. That's kind of part of the point. That's why the handicap took it in the face fucking 15 minutes ago. That seems long. Because you start with the kernel of something, and then by the end of this, we've got a cornfield, and then, unfortunately, my searing hot rage makes it all into popcorn, and then we're at the end of Real Genius. So I'm sitting here, I don't know what to think. Because then, here's the thing. Leaving would have made sense on one level. Leaving makes sense on the level that Now I have to sit here and do a fucking show with somebody who doesn't want me in their fucking house and is just sitting, and now I'm supposed to entertain that person who it's essentially, it's the equivalent of going to a comedy club and I know the people hate me and now I'm trying to be funny to them and they're sitting there with arms crossed and just fucking staring at me and I don't know the chops to fucking salvage that, which is fine. And I hear you groaning. My eyes are closed, by the way. I'm not even looking at her when I'm doing this. I've kind of turned away. I know this is way too inside baseball and way too behind the curtain for you folks, but you know I'm a fucking nutbag, and that's fine. We get that. I'm fucking crazy. But I don't because all I want to do is yell right now. I'm so fucking mad that because I don't understand why I was dismissed out of hand and just told basically to shut the fuck up. And she even said to me, she goes, "You have issues. I'm not mad at you. I'm just telling you you have issues. I've been arguing for 3 weeks with other people. So why do I get the fucking brunt of it? Why do I have to get the brunt of 3 weeks of arguing? I am the one I'm the fucking line in the sand. Why am I the line in the sand, folks? It makes no sense." So now I have to be here and do this for her when she could not possibly want to sit here and deal with this. And now, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I had no problem at the beginning of this because I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to have a fight with you over something that's stupid, so move on. And instead, you've internalized this, and now you're like, I'm mad at you. I laughed at the opening of the show because it's funny.
Well, you're very nice to do so. Yeah, I know. I get it.
I thought everything was okay, and now
It's not okay. I sat here for fucking 10 minutes in silence thinking I was going to fucking split. And the only reason I didn't, in my head, I went, this only hurts you. If you leave it on, because I did this with you once before. I came here once before to fucking do like a commercial. We were going to record a commercial. And I acted like a dumb fuck. There was no doubt about that. And I overreacted and I fucking lost it. And I stormed out of her house. And she locked the door and said, that's fine. You decided to leave. Yes. And right. And I didn't like it then, and I don't fucking like it now. So the only thing I didn't do was storm out. It's the only thing I didn't do. I fucking sat here and I for 10 minutes in fucking silence, I stared and I'm going in my head. I'm going leave. I unplugged my headphones and I'm going leave. And she has business to take care of, and that's fine. And so we're sitting in silence in the fucking kitchen, 4 feet away from one another. We measured it, right? It is. It's 4 feet away. So we're 4 feet away from one another in fucking silence for 10 minutes. Because I get here. Look, here's the way the fucking show works. I wasn't done huffing. I made a conscious decision. I made a conscious decision to fucking stay. That was the only reason. That was the only fucking reason. Because in my head I went, you know what? Because again, we have a fucking weird recording schedule the next month. So if I bail today, we're really fucked. So I didn't know. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, you know what? Just fucking throw this up. And I thought of it, and it's like, I throw things away too easily. I dismiss things out of hand too easily. I just go, fuck it. That's my default reaction. Fuck it. And so that's what I wanted to do. When I get told to my face that I don't matter, I just want to go fuck it and leave.
Said you don't matter.
You didn't have to.
That's
You looked me in the face and I
issues about this stuff.
and you refused. You were like, you're not going to be heard. It's like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm like, can we discuss it? No, I'm done. What the fuck? Why are you the fucking boss who gets to tell me we're done? Why can't you talk to me?
Two people to have an argument, and I'm not.
Right, so you fucking turtle up after starting it, and then I have to sit here and fucking stare into space.
It didn't work. You said this, I said no this, and you're like, but no, I don't want to, and I just was like, fine.
I didn't fucking run downhill like that. I was asking questions.
Oh my God, I wish that had been recorded.
Well, tape it
You
then.
plugged it in, and you were like, oh, it's not going to work. It's got an exclamation point. I unplug it. Oh my God. And I was just like,
Because I have $5 fucking dollars to my name. I can't have my fucking phone get fried.
The accessory wasn't charging the phone. I was going to grab another cord, and finally I just went.
And you said, fuck it, and fuck you, Mike, and you sat down.
No, I didn't say fuck you. I
Yeah,
said,
you did.
I said, here, I'm done. Fine.
No, there was no fine. You went, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. You said it 5 fucking times in my face, and I go, I don't care. I'm done. You said it in my face 5 times, and then you wouldn't even look at me. And so I sat here, and I was like, I'm
didn't
gonna.
want this.
This is happening.
Yes.
Did you think it wasn't gonna?
It's gonna happen without me, because I'm done. I'm not gonna argue about shit.
You don't have to
that
argue.
Isn't important. Oh no, I'm just gonna sit here. And
No,
be
that's the
told
point. This is why I should have
dismissed
left.
you out
This
of
is
hand.
why I should have fucking left.
Oh my
Because it's just
God.
pointless. It's just pointless. Because I'm sitting here because I'm supposed to engage you now and entertain you or make you laugh, and there's no
I was
fucking point.
entertained, and I was laughing, and I still laugh when it's funny. But I don't need to sit here and have an argument with you.
You're not
without
having an argument.
An argument with you. The phone charger. It was a fucking phone charger.
Yes, so why
Let
was
it
that the
go.
line? Why was that? I let it go? You
you
fucking
didn't.
looked at me and you're like,
No,
the end.
you
This is
didn't.
the end. I'm done. I'm done. I don't, you
I
didn't.
wouldn't have said I'm done 5 times if you had stopped, but you didn't stop. You are like a dog with a bone, and guess what? I'm not a bone. I don't have the bandwidth to argue over a phone charger. It doesn't matter.
So we're using up your bandwidth by doing this, as you're saying?
You are if you're sitting here arguing with me about shit. I don't have the mental capacity to argue about a phone charger.
I wasn't
I have a
arguing.
show
I was
to do
asking.
with you and all of this other fun stuff that we do. I don't want to fight ever.
It wasn't a fight. I was asking a question. All I was doing was asking a question. And did I ask the question?
I
Well.
wish that were the case.
Well, so the point is I shouldn't even be here, obviously, because you can hear this.
That's not true.
Well, no, because is this interesting to the listener at all? Do they fucking care?
No,
they don't. They have no
But
fucking interest.
Again, it's your podcast and you chose to talk about
Because you know why? Because that's what I do. Because I talk about what's happening. I talk about what's in the, and I'm fucking furious. I sat here, and
But why are you furious and I'm not? Explain that to me. How two people can walk.
because you can wash your hands and walk away of me, and I don't know why.
You can't. I didn't wash my hands and walk away from you. I said I'm not fighting about this because it's not important. Let's do a show.
But I'm not nobody. You can't just.
That does not dismiss you. That dismisses an argument because I don't want to have it.
You can't
There's a
just.
million things that we do that are fun and amazing, and this podcast is so much fun.
Right. So why can't you think of all those things when I'm asking questions in the moment about something else instead of just running and hiding and basically telling me to fuck
I
off?
said we're done. I'm not going to argue about this.
It wasn't even an argument. I was asking questions.
And yet, here it is, an argument, and you're angry and you're furious and you want to leave because
Yeah.
I didn't want to fight with you.
It's not a fight with me. It
Oh
was the
my
way you ended it. It was the way you fucking ended it. Again, I can get my hackles up. Look, there's no
Yes,
doubt.
you can.
All right, I can get mad at anything. I get that. But you don't even take one scintilla of responsibility for how you said it and how you basically were like, dude, shut the fuck up. That's essentially what you did.
I
You
didn't
took
say
me,
any of those things.
You didn't
I said,
have
I'm
to.
done. I don't want to fight.
and then I kept asking you, and you're just like, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Well,
I'm done.
what part of I'm done? I don't want to fight. Don't you understand?
But why do you get to be done? I had questions to ask. I don't fucking get it. If I'm talking to you and we're talking and having a conversation.
Talking. Your voice was raised and you were irritated beyond belief because I wouldn't immediately unplug the phone,
Now,
hand
see,
it back to you, and drop everything.
This is even crazier, all right? Because you know me.
I do, and
Well,
that's
right.
why I said
Well,
I'm
hold
done.
on.
I don't want to fight about a fucking phone charger.
But that was irritated beyond belief. That? You've seen me much worse than that. You've seen.
I saw the path. I saw all of this coming, and I don't want to have this conversation with you over a fucking phone charger. If I really was upset with you and I was done with you, I'd have gone, get the fuck out of my house, Mike.
Which you've
We're
done.
friends.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
It's a phone charger. Move on. There's a million things to talk about in this show today.
No, there's not. There's not.
I guess not.
No.
Because you've latched onto a phone cord and the fact that you.
Because when I do this, I can't. It's different, and I don't mean to fucking piss and moan and whine about it. It's hard. It's hard to do this, all right? Because it's created a whole cloth, and I kind of go wherever I want to go, and it all depends on what's going on in the moment. I mean, fuck, go listen to all of these. Listen to every goddamn episode. It starts with literally who I saw downstairs at the parking lot. Because I've never had an opening, so I deal with what's going on in the fucking moment at that time. And again, I'm not telling you people anything that you don't fucking know. By the way, you're here. Are you still here? I have no idea if you're still here. They could have fucking left. They might have turned it off, and I don't fucking care. I do care. I don't want. Believe me, I have no interest in. I should have left. I should have just fucking left. That's all I should have done. We should have put up a fucking clip.
Done.
Huh?
What would happen?
Because everybody at home would have been entertained now because they would have a joyous listening experience. No, that's what I said. If I would have left, they wouldn't fucking hear this. Now I've ruined everything. That's the point. I have because I fucking took the time to do this. I should have bailed. If I bail,
You're crazy.
I've done good shows in the past, so we put up a good show and they hear that. They don't have to hear this as I fucking twist in the wind from the fucking gallows because my friend pulled the trap door and fucking hung me out to dry.
Honestly, by not wanting to talk about something, you are totally off the deep end.
I don't think I'm off the deep end. I think that's
I do.
well, of course you do.
I
Well, you just want me to shut the fuck up, so I mean that's fine.
I want to not argue over a phone charger.
Well, that argument's over. We're arguing about your response to the phone charger now. That's what we're arguing about. That's where we moved on to. We have moved on from the phone charger because that's a non-issue. I wasn't even irritated at all. I know you think I was irritated beyond belief. I was just having a discussion. Listen, I was bringing up some questions. I had some queries about that phone charger. There was a thing with the phone. There was an exclamation point on my screen. I can't afford to be losing a phone at this point. And if you want to ruin my phone, that's fine. That's on you. It's terrific. Good for you. But so I wasn't really that upset about it. But I wanted to ask some questions about it. And you lost your fucking mind and told me that and shut the fuck up and it's over and we're ending. It's done. You very closely. You very.
No, I didn't.
You're very close to saying those
things. I
things.
don't want to talk about this. I don't want to fight over a phone charger.
You're in the neighborhood though. There was some other things you said there.
What else did I say?
You told me to shut the fuck up.
Did I say shut the fuck up?
No, you didn't really.
Of
but
course not. Did I say you're an idiot? Of course not.
But it doesn't matter. You treated me like
bad?
one.
No, I did none of
Yes,
those
you did.
things. You started yelling about something.
Nobody
that was
yelled.
irrelevant.
This is you. You want to see me yell? I mean,
You were yelling.
I was not yelling.
You were yelling.
Absolutely
and
not.
That's why I said I am not doing this.
I was not yelling.
Oh my Christ, you were.
I may have been. I may have been a little excitable. That may have been the possibility. You know what's funny? This is the same shit that used to happen when Karen would hook up the TV or hook up the computer. I would. That was me. I would see her doing it, and then I don't know fuck all about it. I have no idea. But when she would go, ooh, uh-oh, and I go, what happened? Don't do it. Don't fucking ruin the TV.
And then you overreact about shit that doesn't
I don't think I
matter.
overreacted.
Your phone is back. It didn't explode. The world did
Not yet.
And you got into a huff and went, I'll just charge it when I get home. Okay, I'm not having that conversation either. Fine.
Because you said I'm done like 40 times in my
Because
face.
you kept going. Bah, 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 bah.
Do you not remember that I almost killed an old man 3 weeks
I
ago?
don't give a fuck. I'm not an old man.
I almost punched an old man in the face at Trader Joe's.
God damn it.
And yet you still get right in my face and poke me in the chest. You get right in my face and poke me in the chest and you're like, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. And I sit here and I just go, why is Lily so angry with me? I don't get it.
You're such an asshole right now.
And then you sit there and then you take a phone call and I'm sitting here fuming because all I want to do is discuss it with you. All I wanted to do is discuss it. I want to, because I fix shit. I just want shit fixed.
On something that doesn't matter and you're screaming and yelling for almost 20 minutes about it.
I want stuff fixed. I just want it done and fixed. If you would have just sat there, if you would have talked to me and answered questions, see, that's the difference. I want to fix it. See, this is the difference between men and women, folks.
I would have gone and got the other cord to plug it in because I said, is your phone an iPhone 3 or an iPhone 4? And it plugged in and you freaked out and I'm like, fuck it. Fuck it.
Right.
I'm done.
Oh, so you said fuck it too. So it's not so bad then to do that.
I didn't say fuck you.
You might as well have.
No, I might as well not had. Had I said fuck you, you could be angry with me.
I can be angry with you anyway.
I just said I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not going to argue over it. Forget it. You put it in your thing, so I wasn't going to go get a different cord.
You didn't say any of those things. You just said I'm done over and over,
Yes.
and you sat down and then in silence and ignored me. And so I sat here in silence, and again, 10 minutes passed, and I sat here and I cracked my knuckles, and I wondered whether I should fucking walk out. And I was gonna go. I thought about it. I unplugged my headphones. I had them in my hand, and then in my head, I'm going, dude. If you go, the only person you hurt is you. This is the only person you hurt. Because even fuck, Lily don't care. She doesn't care if you stay here or not. That's fine. But it's, the bottom line.
It makes you a bad, shame-filled child. Because do you know what you said to me? I'm not your son.
I did say that.
I didn't treat you like my son. If I'd have treated you like my son, I'd have
Well,
aborted you.
I said that after like 6 minutes. Oh, I heard that. Very funny. Very cute. But after like 6 minutes of silence is when because I was going to talk about it, and that's why I went, look, I'm not your son. You can't.
Send you to your room. I didn't argue with you. I didn't scold you. I just said I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's not important. You put your phone away. You'll charge it.
It's not important to you. It was important to me.
Well,
But you
then
don't fucking
need to
care.
Find more stuff to fill your life. If the fact that the phone cord didn't work and I
No.
didn't want to get into an argument about
The second part is the
this
heart. That's the part. I don't give a
That I
fuck
didn't
about
wanna
the
get
phone.
into an argument?
Not an argument that you didn't want to talk to me. That you just didn't even want to discuss it. That you were just, and again, that you got to be the I'm done person,
That's
and I just.
the problem because you didn't get to end the conversation. This is where let's talk about Mike Schmidt for a minute. Grab a couch and pull up. The problem here was not that I didn't want to fight with you. The problem was that you wanted to fight. And you wanted to end the fight, and you wanted to win the fight, and you wanted to be the hero in the situation, and this is your story. And instead, I just went, I'm not playing this one. Play this round on your own.
I don't agree with any of that. I don't think you have any insight into me whatsoever. If you had insight into me,
I have episode 25 of 6 years of insight into you.
Dr.
And
Lecter,
9 years of friendship.
if you want to turn that high-powered intellect in on yourself,
I know my issues.
you will realize that you were the one who triggered the entire response.
I didn't trigger anything. I opted not to fight.
Trigger.
And you're still fighting 24 minutes later.
Well, again, it's not like anybody's around to hear
Would
this.
you like to end this conversation so we can move on? Feel free to say I'm done at any point.
I just don't understand why.
Of course
I don't understand how my friend, my good friend, the friend that I love, can just look me in the face and go, fuck you, not interested.
I never said fuck you.
You did.
No, I didn't.
But you did it in different ways.
You interpreted all of these things in Crazy Town.
Let's go to the phones. Albany, New York. Hello.
Hey, Mike. It's Lily from New York. Why are you being crazy?
I don't think that was a proper call. Let's go to the phones again.
Hi, Mike. It's Lily from San Francisco. Why are you being so crazy?
Call or hold. I'll get back to that one. Let's go. Line 3.
Control of the phones.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Producer controls the phones.
Bring up your own caller now. See what they say.
Oh, well, hold on. We're lit up like a Christmas tree here. I'm not going to lie to you. Everyone's got an opinion on this. Everyone wants to be heard. Everybody has to have something to say. And I don't blame them. I'm actually surprised they stuck around throughout this entire fucking conversation. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why they did. But apparently, you know why? The only reason anybody is still listening is to see if I kill you. Literally, that's the only reason anyone is still listening, is to see if I actually fucking snap and just end it. Either kill you or me in the moment. Like,
Both.
yeah, murder,
I
suicide.
know where the gun is.
Just eat a couple of bullets. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
So I don't. Yeah, man. So like, and again, I was gonna just bail. I wanted to just fucking run away and hide under the coats because I don't. You know, because fucking mom is mean to me and she's yelling at me and it's like I don't get it.
You just told me that you weren't my son.
Right.
And you called me your mom.
Well, you acted
Why
like
are you
it.
Crazy.
You acted like it. That's all. You just acted like it.
Oh my god.
So I mean, what am I supposed to do, man? What am I supposed to do? I should just go to my room. God damn it.
Holy fuck.
You guys aren't still there. Are you still out there? You guys aren't there. This is a rough one for you guys. It's not rough for me so much. Well, it is actually. I got to sit here and have her fucking stare at me and make me feel worse. And then analyze me. Then you analyze me. On my own show, you analyze me. Poorly.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't either. But still. I got to throw that in there. I hadn't had an adverb in a while.
You're my best friend. I love you. I don't ever want to fight over stupid shit. And I'm sorry if it put you in a bad mood and if I was rude to you, because that was not my goal. My goal was to not fight.
I'm your best friend?
You're one of my best friends.
No. Qualifying. Wait a second. Hold on. That makes it worse. Now, see? Now I know you lied.
The bestest friend I have.
You told me I was your best friend, and literally 30 seconds later you went back on it.
Eddie's
You changed it.
Because I also fuck him. So,
So
sorry, he's just above you.
so that's all he's just above you, it sounds like. So that's all I need to do to cross over into best friend
But I
territory?
do think you're my best friend. I've known you forever. We call it when I was going to Vegas. I sent you the text at 4 a.m. going, "What do you think of this?"
Yes.
You know, I respect you and I love you.
Well, then why would you do that?
Because
Sometimes
the
moms
show
want it
must go
quiet.
on and the fight doesn't need to
Sometimes
happen.
moms just need it quiet. Sometimes mom's had a hard day and she just wants quiet at the house. Shh. Go play quiet. Go read quietly. Mom has a headache. A 280-pound headache.
Oh my god, that's funny.
And she needs to recover. Please. Go somewhere and do something quiet. Or, if you're in need of an adverb, quietly.
Oh fuck.
Well, Well, all right. So now all of my handicap listeners realize this was not about them. I respect you, and I respect your prodigious kayaking ability.
Oh my God.
But seconds before we went live, I got yelled at.
2 seconds ago it was 10 minutes.
Well, no, that happened before we went. I sat here for 10 minutes in silence, and then we started the show.
Damn it.
My favorite part of you in this argument is you think the time matters. You think, like, it wasn't 10 minutes, it was 3.5 minutes. I don't give a fuck how long it was. It was quiet, and I was pissed, and I was staring, and I was ready to get the fuck out of here, man. And quite frankly, after 30 minutes of this bullshit, I probably should have. See, people? But again, this is the way it works now. This is podcasting. It's a new medium. Although, be honest with yourselves, wouldn't you have fucking tuned in if Johnny Carson was going to fight with Ed McMahon for a fucking hour? How fucking great would that have been?
I'm not fighting.
Fuck you, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Take a walk. I got a bone to pick with fucking McMahon.
Oh my God.
Here's my middle finger, McMahon. Fuck you. See? That's compelling television. That's what you want to watch. That's what you want to see. I said to nobody as they all turned off their iPods fucking 25 minutes ago. I lost a quarter of my audience with that handicap thing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say handicap people and kayakers were out in the first 10 minutes. Everybody else followed out the door. The only person listening now is Malcolm Gardner, the polio-ravaged Olympic silver medalist in kayaking from Canada in 1968 with rage issues. He's the only one. And he's hate listening because he's so mad at what I had to say. You know what I say to you, Malcolm? Fucking hop in your kayak and paddle away, motherfucker. So, well, not hop in, get tipped in or get poured in or however the fuck you people handle your business. Have somebody tuck you into your kayak and just paddle away into the fucking sunset because you know why? I'm done.
With gorillas down my street. From a window I stare while my coffee grows cold. Look over there. Where? Yeah, there's a lady that I used to know. She's married now or engaged to something, so I'm told. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? If my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going on around here. Around here. Tonight's the night when I go to all the parties down my street. I wash my hair and I kid myself, I look real smooth. Look over there. Where? Well, there goes Jeannie with her new boyfriend. To say that looks don't count for much, well, hell, there goes your proof. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? If my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going on around here. Around here. But it looks could kill. There's a man there who's marked out as dead, 'cause I've had my fill. Listen, you, take your hand from her head. I get so mean around this scene. Whoa, whoa, take him home tonight. Is she really going out with him? If my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going on around here. Around here. Something going on 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 around here.
Hi. I will try to make the second half of this show a little less shouty. We stopped down for a bit here and ignored each other. We ignored that anything had happened and that anything had been discussed. So nothing's been solved or fixed, just so you know. But I decided at that point, I was like, we should take a break here because why not? And then we did what most children do. We just sat here and we played music clips and giggled like idiots, trying to figure out which break to use. And I don't know. I'll tell you, as I say this, I don't know what we're using. I know what I wanted to use, but I have to check with somebody to make sure it's okay. I gotta check with I gotta check with Dad. Mom's all for it. I gotta check with Dad. And I won't be talking to Dad for like an hour. So let's put it this way. If Dad approved of what I wanted to play, I hope you dug that because it was awesome. But if Dad said no, then I hope you enjoyed whatever it was that we put in there instead. If Dad said okay, then you just heard something that was 3 minutes long. But if Dad did not, then you probably heard something that was about 30 seconds long. But either way, folks, please know that whatever it was quality entertainment and was well thought out between Lily and I as we avoided any sort of topic or discussing what was really hanging over our heads. She sat in her chair and I sat in my chair. Although I will tell you this. This should tell you all you need to know about where we were at the end of that argument and everything. Because I said, we should use a break. And then we sat her kind of fucking around and looking through breaks. And then she just goes, you know what? You should just end the show now. I said, what? She goes, end the show now. She goes, you're done. It's just over. That should be it. And I go, you just want me out of your fucking house, don't you?
And what did I say?
And she goes, no, I just think it's really a thing. You're crazy. And I was like, yeah, but I believe me. Nothing subtle about that. I totally got it. I got the hint there.
So wrong again.
She's just like, you know what? You should end the show there. Really, it'd be hysterical. No, really, go. I'll just finish it. I'll edit it. I'll just do the ramp out. Where are your live dates? Write them down and then get out of my fucking house. But yeah, so I saw right through her clever ruse to get me out the door. But here I sit, folks. Here I sit. Still 4 feet away, her nemesis. She's furious. But I look forward to the feedback from you guys because I'll tell you what, if you like this new format, we could probably pull this off every week. Really, when you think about it, if you like this approach of me shouting and then her getting shouted down and berated and humiliated, then maybe that's the way to go. Maybe that's the new direction for this podcast. Maybe you know what? Maybe you start coming with me on the live shows, and that's just what it is. It's just like you know what? We're updating the Bickersons for 2014. We'll go ahead and workshop this for a while, and in 2014 we'll fucking launch it. We'll rent a small theater somewhere. And I just had some discussions with David about that, about like the new year. Because, folks, I don't know if you know, I'm in Seattle this weekend, which is Saturday. Seattle the 19th. That's at the Jewel Box Theater at the Rendezvous. Or is it the Rendezvous Theater at the Jewel Box? I throw that to you folks because I was trying to find the address because I was looking for a hotel in Seattle, which I do not have yet, by the way, Wednesday evening, as I'm there Saturday morning. So I was Googling and I'm looking for the address, and I Googled the Jewel Box in Seattle, and so it came up, and I started to figure it out on Priceline, and then it said the Jewel Box Cafe, and part of me went, wait a minute, I don't want to buy this hotel until I'm sure. So I Googled Jewel Box Theater Seattle. It's completely different. There's a Jewel Box Cafe, and it's like completely, I think it's in Puget Sound. I mean, it's fucking, on Mackinac Island. I'm making up places, but it's one of those. It's like, it's farther away than I wanted it to be. So yeah, it's weird. So so it's the Jewel Box Theater at the Rendezvous. That's where it's at. So don't go to the Jewel Box Cafe because, unless you want a 90-minute argument with a scone, that'd be fine. If you know what, that's what you do. Go there, spend $20 at the Jewel Box Cafe on scones, and just stack them up in front of you and stare at them for 90 minutes. It's probably the same thing that you're going to get down at the Jewel Box Theater at the Rendezvous. Unless I bring my good friend Lily with me and we decide to have a shout 'em up on stage, a dust up, a back and forth. We could have a little back and forth. Why do you keep saying no? I don't know why you're shunning my ideas. Because I know you're disappointed we didn't end the show already, and I'm not at your house. So I get it. All right, fine. So again, folks, I need you to weigh in on whether you like this new format of Lily doing something terrible to me before we go on the air, and then me trying to respond to it in line on the air. Something awful. Is this? This could be the way to go, folks. Do you like Lily treating me like a dumb fuck, and then me trying to talk to her about it on the air? I think that's a good plan, right? That'll be good. That'll certainly give us a half hour of every. That's the opening half hour of every show from now on. Literally, folks, you're not going to believe it. It happened again. I'm sitting here, and I'm going through my notebook, and Lily's like, "Quit rustling those papers so loudly. Quit rustling those papers so loudly. I'm not your son." So no, I think, we'll keep the old format where Lily pretends to like me. All right, let's do that. Sounds like a plan. It's tougher and tougher for her every week. Thank God for Facebook. She's able to avert her eyes from whatever the show is and just stare and go, oh, look at these interesting things on my walls. Wow, a puppeteer is going to get laid. That's fantastic. Oh my God, I can't believe this guy with a clown tattoo is washing the face of a guy with a puzzle tattoo. That's fantastic. My friends are interesting and fun. Look at these 10 dudes eating fire. Oh, that's great. Oh, my God, I can't believe this video. Look at her droopy fans. Those fans are awful. Is that a Leg Avenue top hat? Well, don't you wear that on stage? You call yourself burlesque. Meanwhile, I'm 4 feet away, desperately seeking attention, trying to be funny. And what happens? Mom buries herself in her Facebook. Can't pay attention to me. Can you teach me to throw? No, not today. She's got a lot to do. Well, that's okay. I'm going to be like her. You know I'm going to be like her. All right. In keeping with the theme of me as a child, folks, I will tell you this fine anecdote from my life. I was going to call it a story, but it's not really a story. It's more of an anecdote. I'm gonna stretch it out. I'm gonna do what I can to taffy pull this anecdote into something interesting. I'm gonna do what I can to try to make this stretch out in a way where I can stop thinking about the fact that Lily yelled at me earlier and maybe bring you something else that's interesting, so I don't wind up in a shouting match again. Because I know the first half of the show was a shouting match, and it was more than enough. That's more than enough shouting for anybody. Actually, it wasn't really a shouting match. It was me. I was more quizzical. I was more concerned. I was interested in what was happening, and I got shouted down, as you heard, by a harpy, by a harridan, by the name of Lily von Stupp, who just came flying at me. You heard it.
Wow.
Like a banshee, she swooped out of the dark.
I'm right here.
Oh, hi. I thought you had somehow left. I thought somehow you were on Facebook going, oh my gosh, look at those slippers. They're amazing. I can't believe the government's still shut down. Clack, 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 clack. Hey, I'm trying to talk over here and having some fun. All right, shut up, son.
And I checked to see if they signed anything yet.
You've been checking all night.
No, yes, every time.
Yes, you
we
have,
stop
because
now.
you want to know about the shutdown. Every time we shut down, you check on the shutdown. Lily's concerned because she has jury duty coming up, and she needs to know if she's going or not going. They've got
Federal jury duty.
It is federal jury duty, so she may be sitting in a racketeering case, a RICO case. Lily could be involved in a RICO case.
That didn't sound good.
If you want to know how to get out of jury duty, I know someone who can help. Someone 4 feet away from you. Actually, I phrased that poorly. If you want to find somebody who can't get out of jury duty, I know somebody who can help. Someone 4 feet away from you, because I want to be roped in. As a matter of fact, let's go to that clip. What if we did that? Played one of my 2 jury duty stories. That's right. That's how long I've been doing this show, folks. I actually have 2 jury duty stories for you. Meanwhile, my producer every night puts on her footy pajamas and crosses her fingers and prays to be called onto a jury. I walked in today, before this mess happened, and she's sitting in front of the television watching SVU, taking notes. Had a notebook and a pen watching SVU and going, actually, no, that was law intent. That was criminal intent. She wasn't watching SVU because she knows it's federal. It won't be a sex case. She was watching Law and Order Criminal Intent.
Oh my God.
She was watching Gorin. All right. I love Gorin. I literally went through a phase earlier this year where I taped it every time it was on, and I would just fucking sit there and watch like 4 in a row to see Goran. Oblivious to my wife packing a suitcase. As I'm watching fucking Vince D'Onofrio dominate the screen, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Honey, do you mind if I take all of the spoons? No, I don't care. Take them. Where are you going? It's not important. Spoon Town. I just got an envelope from her in the mail, as a matter of fact. Maybe not from her duly deputized representatives. I don't know how you would call it, what you would call them. She's got a team. My wife has a team. And one of them is fully in charge of manila envelopes because I got a fucking shit ton of those on my goddamn desk. And by my desk, I mean her desk that she left behind because she couldn't be bothered to take it because she wasn't going to do any desk-related activities when she left me because I was the one who kept her chained to a desk. She's now free of that desk. She's now gone. That desk is in the wind as far as she's concerned. I bet she's barefoot all the time right now, just hopping through a field of lilies. That hits a little too close to home. She's probably hopping through a field of daisies. Thrilled, unshackled, unbound. Karen Unbound. I want to make that movie. Reader Unchained. Have I ever said her last name?
Have now.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It wasn't like it was Schmidt, so don't worry about it. I didn't mind. I truly didn't mind. There was a reason. No, I say that as a joke. I'm totally kidding. No, in the beginning, because there was a reason why she kept that name and all that stuff. Because I was a fucking nobody. I had no credit, no anything. And so she kept everything. It was all in her name, all of the stuff in the beginning. So she was Karen Reader, and that's how it stayed. And then when it would be, when things were going well for us, she'd be like, I'm going to change it to Schmidt. And then, of course, things, weren't well for us. And it worked out fine because at the end, look at this. And it saved her one letter every time she signed her last name. So good. I say, if nothing else, over 20 years, I saved her at least 3 days of not signing that extra letter in her last name. I got an envelope from her telling me that, well, not from her, but from them, from the crew, from her team. Now, here's the thing. All right, I've been getting manila envelopes from them. I done been getting manila envelopes from those people. And I open them and I read them. I pay attention to what they say. But I thought a divorce, I thought 2 people had to be involved. Like if, it's like serving somebody. When a guy puts on a fake mustache and slips out of his house and he doesn't get served, then the court case can't proceed because fake mustache got in a cab and drove away. So I felt that way about the divorce, kind of, because and look, I'm not avoiding the divorce. I mean, it happened as far as I'm concerned. She's gone. We're done. The only thing that hasn't happened is me signing a piece of paper. So, but I didn't want to do that until I talked to a lawyer and all that kind of stuff. And as you folks know, I'm a little tight right now. I'm way too busy funding my Mike Schmidt podcasting canoe team. So, funding is strong. Sponsoring. I paid for their flippers. They all have flippers. I insisted on it. Because in case there was some sort of accident, I was not going to go down to the liability insurance. I said, swim your way out, boys, because your legs work. That's why you're in a canoe. So, by the way, how horrible is that motivational speech? Swim your way out, boys. I dressed up like Vince Lombardi just to meet them. I had a fucking tweed overcoat and a fedora and glasses. What the hell is going on out there in these canoes? Put on these flippers. Swim your way out of it, boys. Because your legs work. All right. So I get this. So I've been getting these manila envelopes, and they've been telling me things like, "Hey, P.S. divorce." I mean, it's like, they all have these hidden messages. It's not really hidden. It's really right on the front page. But I was like, oh, I got to talk to a lawyer. And then I was going to talk to a lawyer, and then he got tied up with a thing. And then I was going to go to a different lawyer, but for some reason, they want money. So I tried to find somebody to go fucking pro Sonny Bono. I was going to get them to do that. He was going to do it. A guy was going to take it pro Sonny Bono. Unfortunately, killed in a skiing accident before he could help me out. So stupid. Who didn't see that coming? That joke had a horn on it, right? I had a lawyer to help me pro Sonny Bono. Killed in a skiing accident before he could help me out. God damn it, I'm great. Hey, have I mentioned? I'll say this. I shouldn't. Oh, fuck it, I'll say it. In my as my alter ego, Travis Barbecue. Sometimes I'm called upon to visit the homes of celebrities and bring them foodstuffs covered in a delicious sauce. So, and it doesn't happen often. It happens enough. It just happened to me recently. I will tell you this. I can't tell you this. I don't want to do this. I'll do this though. Well, because it can't be the guy telling all these stories about, oh, look at this guy, and then there was this person. But I did meet a guy, and I may have talked about this on here. I mean, you stop me if I... Well, no, you don't. You're tuned out. You're on Facebook, and you want nothing to do with me at this point. Folks, you at home, if you're still there, you're not even here, by the way. I should remember that, by the way. There's no way you're still listening after that first 30 minutes. After the first 10 minutes. Who am I kidding? 15 minutes. Once it sounded like two people blasting cats with a fire hose, you were out. You said, we're done. Finished. That might be fun, cats with a fire hose. You know what? You think you ever do that at the firehouse? They put the hose up and they just fucking shoot cats into a goal? Like cat hockey? That would be, because again, you can put a kitten on the ground and then you steer it along with the fire hose. Like spray it with the hose and then he's not hurting it, but it's sliding and then you shoot it into a goal. Goal! Goal!
That's hurting it.
Golazzo!
That's absolutely hurting.
No, it's not. It's just sliding along. It's going for a nice swim. It's riding the rapids. It's whitewater rafting. And if it busts its leg when it hit the wall, put it in a kayak. Right. But actually, that sounds like something that's fun, like midget throwing. That doesn't sound fun. I mean something that's wrong that's fun. You know what I mean? Because like midget tossing, technically they do it in bars. I don't know if they do it anymore. Look it up, folks. They used to do it a lot. They didn't really do it a lot. There was no league. I don't think there was a league of midget tossing. Was there really? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there was a league of midget tossing. Actually, you're thinking of the crime fighters called the League of Midget Tossers. They were the enemies of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And they were both much better than my crew of the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. We got nothing done. We would always show up third. Literally, we would show up, and there would be like Mr. Hyde at the door, and we'd be like, great, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is here. And then we would see a muscle man with a midget over his head, and we'd go, great, the League of Midget Tossers is here. And then I would look at the rest of the Ordinary Gentlemen, and we would leave. We would climb back into the Ordinary Gentleman mobile and drive off. It was a fucking Honda Civic. That was the Ordinary Gentleman mobile. It was a Chrysler Sebring. Oh, what a shitbox car that is. I'm not a fan at all. Oh, God. It's got a monkey and a fucking wheel under the engine. Oh. Karen and I rented one of those once. It was such a mistake. That was the end. That was the beginning of the end, probably. Because I said, let's get a Chrysler Sebring. And she said, I'm leaving in March of 2013. Because that was in like 2006. 2004? When did I get the Sebring? I got the Sebring in 2004. 9 years in the making, that thing was. We were riding the Sebring on a Las Vegas highway, and she just went, I cannot wait till March of 2013. I am out. I am so fucking out. First, I'm going to leave for a year and then come back. And then I'm going to leave in March of 2013. All right. So she had this planned all along, folks. She had a plan on her wedding day. I actually found it. She dropped it when we were walking down the aisle. It was tucked in her bouquet. It fell on the ground. And it was like I saw the date, March 13th, 2013. I'm like, what does this mean? She goes, nothing. She put it away. My wife was the Babe Ruth of marriages. She called her shot. All right. So I get the was I talking?
Travis Barbecue.
Oh, okay.
Either one.
Oh yeah, or the envelopes. You're so tired of it. You're just like your face was just like, oh, Travis Barbecue or papers. I don't fucking care. Hold on, I'm reading some notices from TCOT on Twitter. TCOT. Isn't that the Tea Party code? TCOT?
No idea.
I don't know. It's always trending. Must be something fancy. I sometimes throw it in a tweet just to get their attention. Like today, I just wrote a tweet about Lord Humongous. I didn't just write it. I wrote it earlier. Just before I got screamed at. That's when I was writing. You know what? That's what led to me getting yelled at. Because then we were going to do my phone. I was writing that tweet, and then I was like, oh, I got to charge my phone because my tweet had, look, all my brilliance in the Lord Humongous tweet had sucked my battery down dry. So I'm like, we got to plug this into a wall somewhere. She's like, of course. And then she went and got that, and we did this, and then there was an exclamation point, and then something happened. And then she said, that was another thing I forgot to mention that you did. She's like, we're done. And I was like, well, no, we're not done. I want to talk. And then she just goes, no, this is all stalling, and I won't have it. She actually said that to me. And I was like, oh, no. But we talked about that in the first half hour. That's all water under the bridge, right, folks? You know I'm going to forget about that. Forgive and forget. That's how I live my life. We move on. We leave that in the past. We move forward like sharks. My friend Valkyrie in Canada will tell you that. Move forward like a shark. I had an exchange with her on Facebook. This made me laugh. She and I were on Facebook going back and forth. It was just like one night in the middle of the night. And I happened to be sitting at my desk. And she wrote, I'm bored and drunk. Somebody send me a picture of their junk. And so I wrote her. I go, this is going to get awkward really fast. And I don't know. She said, I'm mildly drunk and mildly bored. Somebody sent me a picture of your junk. And I said, this could get awkward really fast. She goes, that depends on the condition of your junk. And I said, well, it also depends on the definition of the word mildly. And then we talked for like an hour and a half, just like back and forth in the comments. And then the next morning, Max wrote, you guys know we can all read this, right? And then she... And I wrote some. I go, Max, that's hilarious. And wait, what? You know, because I'm hilarious. You know that. I'm very funny. If you don't think I'm funny, go look at my Lord Humongous tweet to Teacott. It's so funny.
So did she like your junk?
Well, that's the thing. Is then because I said to her, I go, all right, look, you know what? This would diffuse the awkward if you sent me a picture of your junk. And so then she goes, check your inbox. So I checked my inbox, and there was a photo of. Well, I was shocked I was shocked to get it. Let's put it that way. I can't believe Mark Zuckerberg didn't wake up somewhere in the middle of the night and go, huh? Sound the junk alarm. Someone's posting junk on my creation. I can't have it. And then he looked out his window and saw the Winklevoss twins in a tree. Because they won't fucking leave him alone. Thank you. You're back? You're back on board? Good. You're yelling at me. And I'm small. I'm so small. Inside. I'm tiny and crying. So she sent me a photo of her junk. Well, not her junk. Well, yeah, it was her junk, actually. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess it's my turn. I said, well, you got to tell me my junk won't up on a t-shirt. Because she runs, the Valkyrie screen printing, which you can actually go like on Facebook if you'd like. She's running a deal actually this month where she's giving stuff away, and a very creative deal. You can take $6.66 off all the offers for Halloween. Come on, that's a great deal. Valkyrie screen printing. I hope we'll look it up. Lily will look it up. She doesn't care. She's like, yeah, whatever. Just get out of my house. I don't really think she wants me out of her house. You do get that, right? All right, good. Because I don't want people at home thinking that there is like this weird dynamic.
Oh no, there was 30 minutes that proved there's no weird dynamic in our friendship.
I cannot wait to go home and get a manila envelope from you tomorrow morning.
I can't wait for the emails from people going, are you two okay?
Oh, they know, but come on.
No, they don't. They will all run.
All right, well, you know what's funny? Is that gets to my story, what I'm talking about right now. Because,
well, no, did you send your junk?
Well, I sent a photo of junk to her as well.
Your junk?
Well, hold on. So the point was, and then she started. We did a bunch of double entendres about it. We were talking back and forth, and whatever, and then the thing was where Mex wrote the thing the next day. Was like, you guys know we can all read this, and then she jumped in and she just goes, all right, look. She goes, I sent him a photo of my actual junk trash in my house, like my trash barrel, and he sent me a photo of the Washington Monument, because that's exactly what I did. Because I was. That's exactly, because it's fucking 2 a.m. We're being stupid on Facebook. So I wrote her, I just wrote on Facebook. I go, have you ever heard the phrase theater of the mind? Come on, really just. And she goes, yeah, you didn't wake up to a full inbox this morning, so I don't. And I was like, oh, that's everybody thinks that I sent you a picture of my cock. All right, that makes sense. So that's why when you talk about people are going to send us emails tomorrow, I'm like, no, people know better. No, they don't. They're going to send a thing and go, oh my god.
Get a minimum of 20.
Yeah.
I can think of the names off the top of my head.
Are you all right?
Again, I think it's nice that they care.
No,
but
no.
We're not fighting.
Well, I wouldn't say we're not.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm not fighting.
All right, good. You can absolve yourself if you'd like, but let's not speak for me.
Fight all you want. I am done.
I'm just fucking tilting at the Lily windmills. That's all I'm doing. So she like told everybody that we didn't really send that, and then she goes and go back and read this entire exchange and realize that it was a photo of a trash can and the Washington Monument, and it makes it that much funnier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but not really, because it was funnier the other way to me. But then she's right when you read it. You're like, yeah, I guess it is kind of funny. Because she fucking gives as good as she gets, and she led the whole thing. It was her idea. It was her idea, Mom. I did not mean to get into this weird double talk. But I love that she got this fake. She's like, yeah, you didn't wake up to a full inbox. I'm like, oh well, I'm sorry. I was just being stupid. But no. But to answer your question, no, I did not send a picture. I would not. I won't. That would never happen to a listener person. That would be horrendous.
Listener person?
Well, nobody wants it. Look, nobody wants.
So who would you send it to?
Listen, the line forms to the left. Check your phone.
I'm so glad I'm straight across from you.
Check your
To
phone.
your left. No.
Check your phone. That is not the Washington Monument.
My Christ.
No, I just because that would be. I mean, because look, I'm not. We all know I'm not averse to that sort of thing, right? I mean, look, all right. So I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I haven't. Well, fuck.
Well, are you afraid it's all going to come up like some sort of Anthony Weiner scandal?
I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is there's going to be a manila envelope with a lot of questions in it.
That's going to be the best meme ever.
Oh.
Your cock doing a stew look.
Yes, like a cock. Yeah, stew look. Oh boy, stew cock.
Stew cock.
Oh
Oh, God.
man. All right. See, that's the thing. It can't fall into the wrong hands. I mean, the photos can't. I don't care if my cock falls into the wrong hands. That's fine. Because I'll be honest with you, at this point, there are no wrong hands. Let's go hands across America. Full of my cock. So yeah, I can't do that. I wouldn't. I shouldn't. I can't say I won't, but I wouldn't. But I shouldn't. I didn't. All right, I didn't. I sent a picture of the Washington Monument, but it's not like I don't have them to send. I have a library. I have a whole library of them. It was funny because I was at the LA Podfest, and I wound up in. I was in Heidi's room, and it was me and 4 women. No, I apologize. That was the first night, but the second night was me and 5 women because our friend Jane was there as well. Because there were 4 women staying in the room. It was Suzanne and Raquel and Heidi and Mel. The 4 of them were in the room. But then the next night, Jane joined us. We were all upstairs, and I had something. Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Me and 5 girl. Anyway, they're all of them married. Every single one of them married, and yeah, they were. Jane's married, and again. That wasn't the only barrier. It's not like I was like, well, I'm going to tag all these chicks. If it wasn't for the fact they're fucking married. No, it wasn't even on the table. It didn't even come up. I mean, there was some tension in the air. I'm not going to lie to you folks. Anytime I'm there, there's some tension in the air. That can't be explained away easily. I think that's what led to our fight earlier today.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it did. Come on. All right. I'm not going to say something. All right.
Go ahead.
No, it won't be. It won't be. This would be bad.
Go ahead.
No.
We got through fucking telephone crazy.
Well, no, because no, because again, forget it. Fuck it.
What the hell? The look on your face.
Because you're going to yell at me. I can't do it, or you'll get mad at me again.
No.
All right. Well, I can't do this. Fuck, no, I can't.
What?
No. Well, because you just dismissed it out of hand. You're just like, no, ridiculous, no. But forget it.
I want to hear this.
No, you don't.
Oh, apparently you're done. Okay.
Oh, well then. Yeah. Fuck it. You looked at me once and you said, I can't decide whether I would fuck you or not.
Yes, I did say
Yeah,
that once.
and because we were talking and you were just like, and you said, I wonder what it'd be like to fuck you. I don't. Yeah, okay.
Well, I think everybody has those. thoughts.
Understood,
They
but
don't. They're lying to themselves.
but what I'm saying is when you're just like, no, never, a million years. Well, we
I
actually,
made the decision.
well, of course we've moved on from that. But I'm saying that was discussed at one point, and it's just like, yeah, I wonder, yeah, that exchange has happened. But it just when I get cast aside like fucking yesterday's news, I'm like, wait a second,
Oh no!
hold on.
It's the phone cord incident all over.
We're gonna charge a different battery at this point. It's just because you're also like never, but fuck that, stupid. Well, you did look me in the eyes once and say that, so I just all
I
right.
didn't look you in the eye.
You
I
did.
was looking at you.
No, I actually have a sketch rendition of it. There was a guy.
There's so much in you.
I had him paint it. I have it. It's al fresco. It's up on my wall.
I was sitting at your feet looking up at you. And like, I wonder in your vision of it. In mine, we're sitting across from each other. And I'm like, what the hell?
Well, no, it wasn't. No, No, I know the difference. All right, I'm just
Look
saying.
you in your eyes. Go. I wonder if I would fuck you.
You did bite your thumbnail. Do not lie.
I took my glasses. I didn't put.
And what did I do? I said, put your glasses back on.
You're an idiot.
Because I am a fan.
You're such an idiot.
Well, no, because just when you say that, it makes me sound like a fucking nobody. I'm just like, enough of that with the, never. All right, never. But, all right. So look, folks, I have issues. I get it. All right. It was, someone told me that earlier.
Impressive. There's
Pardon
no
me?
doubt about the move story was pretty impressive. And it
Was
kinda
that when we
makes
had that
you-
conversation?
A couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
All right.
It was
Yeah.
an intriguing story.
Yes, it was. All right. Yes, it was. Listen to me. Yes, it was.
You're in a hotel
I'm
with
David
five
Frost.
chicks You're not gonna bang.
No, at all. No, seriously. It wasn't like if there would have been a show of hands, it would have been 5 against 1. Clearly, it was not. It's not like the room was leaning one way or the other. Absolutely not. It was clearly 5 against 1. So, and even my arm was up half-heartedly because I'm like, I can't handle 5 girls. This isn't going to happen, right? I'm not a young man anymore. Because, God knows I would have been able to handle. I mean, I don't even know if I could fit 5 chicks on my shoulders. Then I'm one of your fucking weirdo circus friends. Put me in a sideshow if I can pull that off. All right. So we were talking and something came up. Suzanne was sleeping. Suze! She had crashed already. So it was just the 3 of us and, no, the 4 of us. Yeah, Jane was there. This is that night. And I believe. And Heidi was talking about a comic that they knew in Indiana. And I just happened to look it up on the phone because we all have computers. So the second anybody mentions anything, I immediately need the information. So I start looking her up on the phone. She comes up. And I go, hey, she's on YouTube. They're like, no way. And I show it. And they go, that's her. Yay, hooray. And then Raquel gets up and she grabs my phone. And I immediately go, don't look at the photos. And Raquel just gives me the weirdest look. Because, again, I don't think she even listens to the podcast. She kind of just came out to hang out with Heidi and Mel. And she listens to some shows. But she doesn't listen to mine. And so which I found out because we went to sushi dinner on Thursday before Podfest. And I made a reference. I go, do you listen to the thing? And she's like, I've heard a few. And I'm just like, all right, I just want to know who you are. And you know what I mean? Because it's like, there's a shorthand you have, an ease with people. And so I would have to keep explaining things to someone who hadn't listened to the show or I just maybe talk like a human being and stop talking in shorthand. So Raquel's got my phone in her hand. I go, don't look at the photos. And she goes, what? Why? And Heidi says, oh, he has pictures of his wiener on his phone. In this hushed tone, like it's this horrible thing, which it is, quite frankly. I won't lie to you. And Raquel's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, just give me my phone back. Honestly, because I just felt, because again, it's just stupid. It's just dumb. Am I ever going to use them? I don't know. Who knows? But it's good to have them, right? It's good to have a cache of them. I have a cache of them. I have a gigabyte. Look, if you have a gigabyte of cock photos, just make sure they're yours. That's all that matters.
Oh my god.
And I have them in a special folder. They're in my phone, and then I have another folder if I ever wind up using any, because I don't want to mix them up with the ones that I don't use. So if I ever send one, I'll just go ahead and move that to the other folder, and that folder is called Missiles Fired. I wish I was kidding. I got a fucking folder on my phone that says Missiles Fired for any cock pictures I might send. I'm lonely. I got a lot of time on my hands, folks. It is dark and it is quiet a lot.
Oh my god.
But I will tell you this, my cock pictures have exponentially improved since I've been on my workout program. There's no doubt about that.
Really?
He's getting taller.
Oh my god.
Through no fault of his own. He had wound up getting short. That was on me. That was all upper body. But now that's changed. Not changed completely. We're changing it. It's in progress, folks. So yeah, so I keep my phone locked at all times.
And loaded.
Don't be sorry, it's awesome.
Holy shit.
So
Oh my.
so how do we spin off into that nonsense?
I don't know.
Me neither.
You're talking about a manila envelope
Okay. And I remember this one. All right, well remember that.
and Travis barbecue.
Yeah, folks, remind me of manila envelopes later. But I will tell you about Travis Barbecue. I had to go to a celebrity's house, and I've been to the celebrity's house a few times, actually. And I shouldn't even say this. Well, let's put it this way. Because I don't want to divulge stuff. I mean, and this is not a bad story. You know, if I had a bad celebrity story, I would tell you. This is just a normal celebrity story. I don't even know what I'm telling you. You know why I'm telling you? Just because of my reaction. Actually, this is not going to come out badly at all. Chaz Bono is a customer of where I work, and I'm not. I hope I'm not violating some sort of weird privacy law where I'm going to get the fucking boot, but I don't have anything bad to say about this person. I saw who it was on the ticket, and so I went to their house, and he answered the door, and I have not seen him in. I mean, I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't ever see him. Okay. Last time I recall was when he was going through all the nonsense and he was becoming himself well, the change and all the things that he decided when he wanted to be the real person, the person that he is. And, but when I mean the nonsense, I mean the tabloid stuff. You know what I mean? Like being photographed and always held up for ridicule and just having terrible things happen to him. And fought through it and lived his life and is happy now, I hope. But regardless, I don't know anything. I have no insight into this person whatsoever. All right, all I know is that they enjoy barbecue, and sometimes I've brought it to them. The only thing I will tell you is, again, I have not seen him since all the tabloids and the ridicule and all that nonsense. He opens the door. He's stunningly good looking, and he's buff. Like, it was the weirdest thing, because I didn't know what to. I didn't know. I mean, again, in my head, I have an image that I've created of what he looks like. And so he opens the door in a fucking like tank top. He looks like he's in a boy band, for fuck's sake. I mean, all of a sudden I'm like, I thought One Direction had ordered food for some reason. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, hey, hi. And very pleasant, tipped well, was very just signed, and could not have been nicer. The only reason I bring it up is because I was astonished at the transformation. I mean, easily has lost 200 pounds and is muscular and looks great. I mean, really, and looks completely different, but the same, which is odd. But it was just kind of inspiring to know that what that person has been through and all the things that they put themselves through. And unfortunately, I don't know, born in the wrong body. I don't know anything about the backstory. All I know is that he was a woman and now he is a man, and that was his decision, and I hope he's happy with it, and that's good. But I'll tell you what, he is a fucking man. I mean, he looked like a man. When he opened the door, I was like, God damn, that's a man right there. Granted, a man who just walked off of a wedding cake, but still a man. You know who he looked like? Mike TV from Willy Wonka, when he got shrunk down and Willy Wonka picked him up by his collar and put him in his pocket. He's that small. He's like totally tiny. So I did that. I gave him his barbecue, then I lifted him up by his collar and I placed him back in his giant dollhouse. All of a sudden now this broke bad. It was super nice, and then all of a sudden I'm incapable of being nice. But the good news is I do have Chaz Bono's phone number if I ever want to fire a missile that way. So, good. He's not interested.
I don't think so.
Maybe I send him a picture of the Washington Monument. Maybe I do that. It's a lovely landmark. I'll tell you this, too. I sent Valkyrie a picture of the Washington Monument, and then she wrote me, and she's like, really? You're going to let Google do your job? That's like sending a still from a porno movie. And I said, hey, that's all me. I took that photo when I was in fucking Washington. Now there's rules on the fucking photos we have to send? Besides, I just sent you a national landmark. You sent me your garbage can. What the fuck? I think I win.
Wow.
Yeah, look, I think...
Fight over fake junk.
You know what we've learned? You know what we've learned on this show? Never engage me in any way. Never engage me in any shape. Never engage me in any form. Via social media, in person. You don't want any piece of this. You don't want a part of this. You don't want any of this. You don't want a piece of me. You don't want some of me. You don't want to step to me. Punks jump up to get beat down. All right. So that happened. I don't know why I spun off into that for no reason. You're supposed to, what else?
The manila envelopes.
No, this isn't that big a deal. They keep coming. And as I open them, there's more papers in them, like different papers. And I put them aside. Because look, again, we're divorced. I don't need a copy of the Watchtower to tell me we're divorced. All right, I get it. We're done. You left. Locks were changed. I have your keys on a shelf. Fuck, I have everything on a shelf. Everything you ever owned is in my house. You literally left with like a shirt in your car. So I don't know what to do with all of this stuff, and I have it, and we're friendly. We've talked, but this last manila envelope that came, this is so weird. You remember I had to see her when we did the taxes. So I had to see her then, and we had to go in together to the tax guy, and then we had lunch afterwards, and we discussed finances and what was going to happen. So we had made a decision that we were going to be waiting on the divorce, because I don't know if we have to file married in 2013. This is a question for adults. I'm busy looking at an exclamation point on my phone screen and losing my mind.
Thank you.
I'm taking your word for it because I still don't think I lost my mind. But I will give you the benefit of the doubt.
Still arguing.
Well, I'm being honest. I don't think I had lost my mind. I don't think I went that crazy. However, when it comes to people saying that I'm crazy, I will defer to them. Because I told you, I don't see my crazy all the time. I see it a lot. I have a pretty good grasp on who I am. And I know that I'm a fucking banana head, but I don't see it all the time. I told you, when I didn't have that grasp, that's one of the funniest conversations I ever had in my life. I was talking to Pardo. And I was like, well, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. And he did his face. I've never seen that look on his face before or since. Just this fucking complete bewilderment and surprise. Like, is he kidding? I don't know if he's kidding. Oh, he doesn't know. Oh, he doesn't know. And he goes, what? And I said, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. And he goes, you are insane. You are the least easygoing person I've ever known. You are, and then I sat there for 15 minutes of invective, but deserved it because we were having that kind of a conversation. Because we used to be married. I don't know if you know, I did a podcast with Jimmy Pardo for a year, and then a manila envelope showed up at my house with an exclamation point on the outside. But you can buy that year of Never Not Funny, year one, Never Not Funny. Go ahead and pick it up now. I get royalties from that. I had a gentleman just recently, our friend Mike DeGregorio, who just bought the Comedy Film Nerds book. And it's so, look, I have to tell you people something. You are all so fucking great. You don't owe me any apology for not buying things or buying things. It's so funny. People feel indebted and they want to help, and that's really cool, and I appreciate it. But I get letters from people apologizing that they haven't bought the CD yet. Like I'm Santa, and I have a list of checking off names. Like,
Well, Christmas is coming.
I can't believe Billy in Missouri hasn't purchased the CD yet. He's naughty. No, Billy, take your time. If you want it, great. If you don't want to buy it, that's fine. I totally get that. If you do want it, I'll have it fucking forever. So that's fine. You can order it later. I'm gonna say fine one more time. Fine. So people want to reach out and they want to help, and they tell me, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And so Mike, he wrote me a note, and he said, hey, I just want you to know that I bought the Comedy Film Nerds book, and I'm so excited. I jumped right to your chapter, and I really like it. It's great so far. That's another thing I like too, by the way, is so far. Somebody else did that to me on Facebook. And he's like, this is pretty good so far. I'm like, well, God, I hope it doesn't fall apart near the end. I'm glad you got to me when you were liking it, because I would hate to hear what happens the rest of the way. I can warn you, the last 9 pages are a little rough of that 11-page chapter. I like to think that he just jumped to it and saw my name in the byline. I'm like, pretty good so far. Mike's involved, I'm on board. And then it reads a page and a half, and he goes, I didn't care for this very much. Mike talked about himself as a child with a Spider-Man comic book. I don't like it. But will he write that note? Perhaps he will. Perhaps he won't. But he did write this note where he's like, hey, dude, I bought the book. I'm reading the chapter. I like it so far. But I have to ask you, I bought it on Kindle, which is only $8, and I hope that doesn't give you a smaller royalty. But that's the way I had to do it, and I really was excited to get it, and I couldn't order it through the website, and so I'm just happy to have it. And so I wrote him, and I'm like, dude, thanks. I'm glad you bought it. I hope you like it. And also, I get fuck all from that book. Honestly, that was a pay-to-play deal. I did not get any royalties. I'm not involved in the back end of that book at all, other than the fact that I took it in the ass on the financial deal. That's a lie. I made an agreement. I was happy with it, but I just wanted to make a back end ass joke in the moment. Okay? Okay. Don't call Chris and Graham. I gotta call Chris because I was gonna talk about something on here, but I gotta talk to. Fuck that. I don't have to talk to Chris about it. Really? What the fuck is he? The boss of me? I don't think he's the boss of me. No.
Everyone's your mom.
That slot's taken.
Everyone's your mom.
My mom's not even my mom anymore. Talk to her on the phone. Oh, and yeah, my mom is. She just. she's going to be a head in a jar soon. I mean, she's just falling apart, man. Just like rotator cuffs and hips. The other day, she was in the emergency room on Friday because her back. And I was like, muscles or bones? Because that's the extent of my medical knowledge. I don't know anything, you know. And again, with my mom, it could be anything because she's broken her back twice. Slipped on ice outside of a bank and fell off of a stack of chairs in a break room. She worked at a grocery store, and she was sitting on like 8, you know how they'll stack chairs up? She was sitting on it talking on the phone, and it gave way, and she fell down, broke her back in the fucking break room. Aptly named room. So, I got a call. I got a call from my brother Andy, who I haven't talked to in 2 years, I think. And he's doing whatever he's going to do. And I can't tell him different. I can't tell him differently because that's exactly why Lenny and I didn't talk for 12 years. So he just starts unloading this fucking never-ending shotgun blast of mistakes. And I'm in no position. Again, I'm you can't even see me behind the stack of manila envelopes that are in my house. So I have no right to give advice to anybody. But he starts telling me stuff and going on, and I'm hearing it, and I'm going, oh, man, that's... But then he told me, he said, did you hear about Mom? And I said, yeah, she's got a bad back, and she's getting rotator cuff surgery, and her hip's all fucked up. And he's like, oh. He goes, well, you didn't hear... I said, well, what? Tell me. They found something in my mom's chest. And they don't know what it is. And I said, well, what the fuck? Why didn't she tell me? I talked to her on the phone today. And he goes, I don't know. Maybe she's just doing that mom thing where she doesn't tell anybody anything and just tries to write it out. And I go, well, hey, fucko, you don't even talk to her and you know. How the fuck do you know? He's like, well, Scott told me. So she obviously told Scott, but she didn't tell me. And she won't get it. She's not going to get it fixed. Whatever. He was sketchy on the details. So I had to call my mom. And I finally got to do what my mom did to me forever growing up. I had information
Really?
that my mom didn't know I had. So I was able to walk her right into a fucking pie in the face. Because she did it. I told you she did it when we were kids. You know, she knew Lenny was suspended, and he walked in, and she's like, "How was school today?" School was great. She hit him in the head with a fucking spatula. I was at that goddamn school today. So I got my mom on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And my mom is 70, and again, but still, just a roughhouser. And the funny thing is, I had just talked to her the day before, so she had to know something was up that I'm calling her 2 days in a row. But then the best part is, again, my mom is 70, but to me, she just looks like my mom. Like, I see people's moms, and I go, that looks like a mom. My mom looks like my mom. You know, she doesn't look like a mom. She just looks like the way she's always looked. You know, she's not gray, and she's shrinking. She told me that. She's shrinking. She's only like 4'11" now, my mom, because she was only 5'2" to begin with. And she's like, I told my doctor, get fucked, I'm shrinking. And I'm like, yeah, of course you did, Ma. That's what you do. But then I said to her, I go, so how's it going? And the one thing that she does have as a 70-year-old is she forgets. And she's forgotten that she told me everything. So she just tells me everything she told me on Friday about her back and her knee and her everything. And so so I go, nothing else? She goes, no. I go, well, what happened at the doctor? Did they do any x-rays on your back, or they check you out? And she's like, no, just, my back is all twisted, and I don't know what's going to happen there, and it's just severe pain. I've never had that kind of pain before. And and my mom saying that's rough, because she has broken her back twice and fucked up her arms and everything else. And so I said, so nothing else, really? She goes, no. And I go, you didn't get any x-rays on your chest? And she goes, oh. I said, yeah. You weren't going to tell me about that, Ma? And she's like, well, no, there's no reason. There's nothing to tell. Nothing's going on. I go, well, you told Scott. You're not going to fucking tell me? It's crazy. And she goes, well, no, it's just there's a thing in my chest. They don't know what it is. It's like a node or a nodule, and but it's too small. And I go, well, it's there. Get it out. I don't give a fuck how small it is. She goes, believe me, I'm with you. I feel the same way. But the thing is, it's too small for them to do anything. They can't even give me the Pat smear test, PAT. It's like a cancer. I don't know. I may have misheard her pronounce it, but it's a, I don't know if it's barium or what, but the fuck, it's a test to find out if there's cancer in your body. She goes, but it's too small. It wouldn't identify as that. She goes, and it's not tentacling. It's not, metastasizing, but she goes, so they don't know. And she goes, and they would have to crack my sternum to go in and get it, but it's too small to do that. I said, what's the plan? She goes, well, we're going to wait 3 months, and then we're going to x-ray it again and see if it got any bigger. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a fucking great plan. Is this the vaunted Obamacare I've heard so much about? Sit tight. We'll see if it's cancer later. That doesn't seem like a diagnosis to me. But she said, I'm with you. I feel the same way. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they can't get it out. And they said there's nothing they can do about it, so we have to wait. So we wait, and we see what happens. The only good thing is the fact that I know if there's anybody in the world tougher than cancer, it's my mom. And my ex-wife, who was also tougher than cancer. Listen, the bottom line is if you're a woman and you're going to have any sort of relationship with me whatsoever, you need to be tougher than the deadliest disease known to man. So, I don't know why I spiraled into that. Because I've been thinking about it for a few days. So I keep getting these manila envelopes at home, and it's always stuff like, hi, Mike, would you like to be divorced? Circle 1, yes or no. That's what it started out as. But then they got gradually more intricate, where there was these, financial disclosures, and, Karen putting her address and where she worked and sending me copies of her check stubs and all these different things, and then they were asking me for the same thing. And I chuckled politely, and I put the manila envelope on my desk. Because again, we're divorced. I know what's happening. I don't have to jump through the hoops of the faceless minions at Manila Envelope Incorporated. So I kept getting different things, and there was different stuff included in every packet, and they wanted stuff from me, and they wanted me to sign it. And I was like, well, I'll get to a lawyer, and I'll figure it out. And then just this week, I got one, and I opened it up, and this was dated September 5th, which is when I was doing the taxes with Karen, and when she and I had a financial discussion when we sat down and we said, we're going to wait. Let's wait on everything and figure out what we're going to do in December. Because I didn't know if we were going to file together or we're going to file separate. I don't know how that works. I talked to my accountant about it. I talked to Karen, and she was like, no, we're filing married. That's the plan. But I wanted to talk to a lawyer and see what he thought, what was the best move for me. So I didn't want to sign anything or do anything until then. And she agreed. She's like, all right, well, we'll hold off and we'll see what happens. Well, apparently, that wasn't good enough, because dated around that same time, these papers showed up, and she signed them on that date. And it just says that my marriage is dissolved as of December 13th. That I guess they don't need any information from me at all. They all they need is the fact that she's filed, and I'm getting manila envelopes, and I have run up a hefty bill in manila envelopes at this point. I can't even imagine how much I owe those people. But it said that she gets everything she has now, and everything she does not have is mine, which I guess means everything in the apartment. Which seems, I mean, that just seems like abandonment, right? Like shouldn't she get those plates? I mean, I've got her Christmas decorations. I got her china. I talked about this all the time. I mean, there's stuff in the house that's hers. That's clearly hers. I mean, antiques and, but I mean, I can't speak to her headspace, but I mean, she just must really, really want out. Which I understand. Again, if you heard the first 30 minutes of the show, wouldn't you? So, but it was kind of a weird shock to know. I mean, because again, it's over. It's been over. And there was never any idea of, well, possibly. No, fuck, it's done. I haven't talked to her now for a month, and, we, except for the random text, because we do have one bill that we're still paying together, and we have a bank account that I can't close, that I tried to close. There's our joint bank account, but she needs to come in and sign, and I just like, well, why? Do what I say. Nothing better than shouting in a bank. So yeah, so I don't. So we kept it open as a joint account. So she puts money in it every month just to cover her half of this one bill, our tax bill that we're paying. But other than that, I guess everything's mine. And so I can't decide. Like it's so funny. I'm kind of making the apartment my own now, which I hadn't. It's been 7 months, and I just live there. I've not done anything with it. I did do one kind of sprucing up where I took her, some of her, like she had a chair and some stuff like that. And I put it in another room, and I put it in like the front closet is all her stuff. Not all of her stuff, but everything in the front closet is hers. And then 2/3 of the rest of the house is still hers. Her paintings and also, I mean, stuff that she did, she created. Stuff that she made, that she loved, and it's still there. And like 14 crucifixes, which I don't fucking understand, but good for you. Those helped. If I remember correctly, the head of that organization would recommend that you stay, or at least come back 3 days later. I'm great. All right, so so she so that happened. So I don't know, that's 2 months. That's actually, is it 2 months from today? No, it's actually less than 2 months. And so I don't even but I don't think it can't work that way where they just say, "Hey, it's over." I have to sign. I have to say something. You keep saying no.
No, if you don't respond, just like if you're sued, if you don't respond, the judgment goes to the plaintiff.
And I should tell you this also, in those papers, she's asking for what she gets and what I get and stuff. She's asked for nothing untoward, and everything she's asked for, she deserves, and she should have, because it's all hers. The beef I have is literally, there's so much more that she could have. I'm not joking. It's like, it's not like she took anything. What she's doing exactly what I wanted her to do. All right. Take what is in your name and your stuff and go, and leave me with the debt and everything else. That's fine. Because I will eat that, because it's on me as far as I'm concerned, because that's my penance to pay. That's my cross to bear. That's whatever the fuck. That's the bullet I'll take. And I'm saying too much here, probably. So I want her to be free of it. I want her to take whatever she's got in her name and be free and happy and do the things she wants to do. She didn't ask for anything that I wasn't ready to agree to. It's just that I felt that I had to have a lawyer look at it, because I thought that was what life was. And, I'm not an adult. And so I thought I was supposed to hold somebody's hand while they walked with me into court, and they read my documents, and they said, "These are good, sign them." And I would sign them, and then I would take off my "Hi, my name is Mike" sticker, and I would go back down to my wagon and get pulled home. But instead, it turns out, here's the great thing, folks. When you don't want to make any decisions, sometimes decisions are made for you. So now I guess the whole bottom line of this is, who wants plates? Now, I have like glass bowls that were her antique bowls, and I don't. And what's funny is I still want her to have those, even if they're not on the list. But she got to fucking come get them. I'm not going to make any crazy effort to get them to her. I'm going to mail a bowl. What if I mailed a bowl a week? What if I just started mailing her pictures of bowls? If you don't come up here, the bowl gets it. Yeah. I broke it and I sent one piece at a time. There you go. Here's that bowl. It's like, who I am? I'm fucking Gary Sinise and Ransom. Just take a picture of a bowl with a fucking gag on it tied to a bed. I don't have a bed. I don't even have a bed. I can't even do this bit. God damn it. I'll have to rent a hotel room to do this bit. That might be worth it, though, because then she'll be like, "Where did you get that bed? That bed is amazing." Yeah, haha. Sold 4 of your other bowls. Funded my new bed Kickstarter. So I guess it's just over. Like, part of me wants, I don't know if I'm supposed to rally to it, or if I'm supposed to call them and go, "No, hold on," because I agree to everything that was in the papers. So hiding under the coats works. You get what you wanted. Well, you get what you think they wanted. Because it wasn't like I wanted this. This just sort of happened. And now we live with it, and that's what happens. And now I have to find a new person to fire missiles to. No. um, this is the first time I've ever lived alone. And it's, I mean, well, I've been practicing living alone for 7 years. Because my wife would go to bed and I was up all night by myself, and then I would sleep in the daytime and get up when she wasn't there. And I you know, my wife was essentially a woman that I dated that I married. Like, it seems like we were married under the law, but we were just dating because we would go out. That's what we would do. We'd go eat somewhere, we'd go to a movie somewhere, and then we'd come home and she would go to bed, and I'd come to bed with her and we'd fuck, and then I'd be up all night by myself. You know, because again, that was the one thing that worked. But living alone is strange. When, you know, because I always, even though I was living like a single dude, I knew she was in the other room, being eaten alive by vampire bugs. But living alone is strange. So, because you start to see things. This is going to sound terrible, but I don't mean it to. I always make jokes about my butler quit. And I hope you take that in the spirit in which it's intended, because my wife, I didn't look at her like that. I may have treated her like that a lot of the times, but I never felt that way. But when it's gone, that's when it really comes into sharp relief that she did those things for me and did those things, and we did them for each other. You know, like when your car was messed up and you asked me to come pick you up, so I came and picked you up. You take me to the airport. Now you're you know, I don't know if you will after today, but sometimes you take me to the airport. Well, you can take me to the airport, just don't charge my phone in your fucking car and ruin it. But the you know, when you're with somebody and you live with somebody and you have somebody, they help you and they do those things, and it's, you get accustomed to it and you forget what it was like to have to call another 50-year-old and ask for a ride to the airport. And you really forget what it's like to call another 50-year-old and ask for a ride to the airport and they say no. Because I get that a lot. And again, that could be a reflection of me, but it's, it's weird. I would do anything for my friends. Anything. If they asked and needed me somewhere and I could do it and I could be there, I would do everything. I would move stuff. I would do whatever I could. And that's why it always shocks me when I call somebody and I get a no. And I'm always like, really? No? Because this seems like an easy thing. You know, it's not like I didn't ask you for $5,000. I asked you for a 40-minute round trip to the airport. Nah, can't do it. No, I got a thing. Oh, okay. Well, I can leave an hour earlier. Nah. And again, I'm as you heard, I'm used to people just, you know, leaping to my beck and call. So I guess maybe I'm the one who's out on the outs here. I'm looking at it differently. But you know, this week my car had a thing. I hadn't had my car looked at in a while, so I figured I needed the oil changed at the very least. But I knew there was more because you know, we never drove my car. When Karen was there, she parked in the carport, so we took her car everywhere because we always knew we had a parking spot coming back. If we drove my car, it might take 20 minutes to find a parking spot outside on my street. So it just made sense to park my car and then travel everywhere in hers. So I bought my car in 2006. It only had like 30,000 miles on it or something this year because we never drove it. I would drive it for work. Basically, that was the only time. If I did road gigs or I traveled and stuff like that, that was the only time I drove it. So now it's got like 48,000 because I'm driving it and I'm driving it all over. So I was like, oh shit, I better get it looked at. So I stopped. Oh, and also I'll tell you this. Did I talk about my key fob last week? No. I have an intelligent key for my Nissan. This show is just kind of a meandering talking show, right? Should I? Now that I think about it, well, I mean, it is. It sounds like it's just a conversation, one-way conversation. I mean, I hope. And again, not like anybody is still around after that fucking first 35 minutes. There's no way. It's just me and Malcolm. And he is clutching his silver medal and staring at his iPod, furious. So, whatever the fuck, I have a key fob. It's an intelligent key. So for 7 years, I have never had to put a key in my lock in the door. I've never had to put a key in my ignition because the key, it's an intelligent key, so it just starts the car. I don't have a push button, but I can just turn the thing, and I don't have to put the key in there. And also, I can punch a button, and it opens up the doors. So I never have to, whatever the fuck, who cares? So I did my laundry last week, and I opened the dryer, and I pulled out my clothes, and out tumbles my key fob. And with my intelligent key in it. And I'm like, oh, all right. So I hope that didn't do anything bad. So I immediately took my clothes in, and then I walked out to my car, and I pushed all the buttons, and of course none of them fucking worked because I washed and dried my intelligent key. It's called an intelligent key, and it drowned. That's what it was. I took all of its intelligence away because I drowned the motherfucker, and then I steam roasted it in the fucking dryer. So I went ahead, and I needed to get that replaced. Now the thing is with the intelligent key, I just had a problem with it a few months ago as well, and I bought new batteries, and even in my head I went, well, I'm not going to worry about this for fucking 2 years because I got 2 batteries. It's a lot of money to replace. So I stopped in to see Mel, who was my guy at the Nissan dealership, and I should tell you, everybody's like, oh, dude, why do you go to the dealership? Because this guy's fucking amazing. You remember that dealership that they stole my fucking glasses? They did all sorts of bullshit to me, but this guy has made it right. Over the years, he's the only guy I will deal with. If they ever put me on anybody else, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And I will go to a different fucking place because he's the guy. So I stopped in to see him, and he's like, long time no see. And I said, hey, since I saw you, my life fell apart. So here's my question. I don't know what my car needs. I said, I need an intelligent key. He goes, ooh. He goes, you know, there's like $160. I said, yeah. And he goes, well, let me look around and see if we have another key fob here that we can reprogram. And he goes, but probably not. It's going to cost you $160. I go, I don't care. I need it. I have to have it. Because once I fried my key fob, I had to take the intelligent key out and start putting it in the door. I don't know how you animals live your lives. But if you're putting a key in a door lock for a car, just go ahead and drive that car Thelma and Louise style off a fucking cliff. Honestly, because you are not living life. To keep your keys in your pocket and sit down and then just start the car. And when the car is just, literally the car is just like, hey, it's Mike. That's what happens with my car. I show up with my keys in my pocket. It doesn't need to be fucked. I don't need to fuck a lock with a key. I don't need to have that fake insertion. I don't need to stick a key into the ignition. I don't need to fuck my car awake. My car's always awake when I show up. But then I washed the key fob and I got the key out, and I actually made a sour face every time I did it. I was like, it was like, you know what it was like? You know what Halloween haunted houses when you were a kid and it's all dark and you're blindfolded and they go put your hands in the brains and it's spaghetti. Ah! That's what it was like when I was putting the key in the lock every time. Ah! Oh, look at this bowl of eyeballs. Ah! Grapes.
Aww.
Yeah, grapes.
Spoiler.
Sorry, folks. And Halloween's coming up, too. I shouldn't have spoiled that at all. I apologize. Or, not a spoiler, let's spin it. That's an idea for your holiday parties, folks. Bowl of spaghetti, bowl of grapes. Brains, eyeballs. Turn out the lights, have some fun. I couldn't get it out. So that's what it's like every time I put the key in the ignition or the key in the lock. It was like, so I had to have it replaced because I'm not in the Flintstones, folks. I'm not in the fucking Stone Age. I don't need to be fucking starting my car with my feet. I need a fucking intelligent key. I'm an intelligent guy. Intelligent guy, intelligent key. That's the way it should go. I don't know how you dumb guys run it. Yeah, I do. Dumb keys.
Oh,
So I go, he's like, I'll look for the key fob. And I go, do me a favor. I have a question. My life has fallen apart since I last saw you. Can I pay for stuff like on assignment, on consignment? Like, can I put my repairs on layaway? Like, you'll fix everything, and then I'll just come in and pay every week. He goes, no. He goes, if it was up to me, I would work something out with you, but it is absolutely the policy of the dealership not to do that. I said, understood. I totally thought that was the case. It's my fault for screwing up my marriage. So do me a favor. Take a look at the car. I go, I need the oil changed. Look at it and see if there's anything else that needs to be done. I go, but I guarantee you there's other things that need to be done. I think my brakes are kind of mushy. I said, I cannot lose the car. That would be death. So he's like, no problem. Can you get home? Or do you need a lift or something like that? I go, well, honestly, I don't know. I could probably call and try to get a ride because it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Or no, 3 o'clock. And I said, I'll do that. He goes, well, we can give you a lift if you need one. I said, cool. Let me make a phone call first because he said they give me a lift. And then they take a look at the car and fix it, and then I would have to come back and pick it up. But they stopped giving lifts back at 5 o'clock. And the service center was open until 8. So they may have to come get me at 5, and then I would have to sit at the dealership for 3 fucking hours. And I wasn't having it. And you were on your way to Vegas, Lily, so I couldn't call you. So I had a couple other friends who live in the Valley, And I'm like, look, this is so crazy. Can I bribe you with lunch, a late lunch or an early dinner, just because I need to kill some time before I have to come back to the dealership and pick up my car? And I was told no. And I was like, all right, okay. It's just, well, I said, we don't even need to do lunch or dinner. Can you just pick me up at the dealership and then take me back? No, can't. Okay. And then another friend of mine, he was out shopping and he was with his family, so he could not. And I understood. So I was sitting there and I said, all right, I'll take a ride home. And they said, make sure you call us by 5 or 5:30 because that's when we stop doing the rides. I said, no problem. So I had to leave the key there. And I hop in the car with Ed, who was a tech. And I also drove, here's what I got driven home in, folks. The Nissan Cube, which is awful. It's like a fishbowl. It's like dice with wheels, or a die with wheels. Dice? Not two dice. If it was two dice, that might be okay. But it's like a die, like just one fucking, so retarded. And it is just the dumbest vehicle I've ever been in my life. So I was in there with Ed, the tech, and he told me about his dreams of going to school and becoming a tech. I'm like, I thought you were already a tech. No, I want to be a better tech. All right, well, good for you. And he dropped me off at my house. Nice kid, good guy. And then I sat in my house and waited. And then I tried to call a couple more people to see if they could possibly meet me, and no answers or no. It's the afternoon. People are very busy. They've got lives, folks. Not like me, washing my key fob and then ruining my life. So trying to wade through manila envelopes into my living room, fighting with my only friend. These are the things I like to do with my time. So I sat in the house. And I was killing time. And then finally at 5:30, I called the dude because they hadn't called me back because they said they were going to call me and tell me what was wrong with the car. So I said, okay, great. They didn't call. So 5:30, I called for a ride. And the girl goes, I'm really sorry, sir. We've stopped ride service for the evening. I said, I was told by Albert that I could be picked up sometime between 5 and 5:30. So it's 5:30 and I'm calling now. She goes, oh, well, hold on. She put me on hold and came back. She goes, yes, Albert says that's okay. We'll come and get you. I said, great. While I was talking to her, my other line rang. And it was Melvin, my guy. And he goes, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm good. That's a weird opening. He goes, you sitting down?
Oh, that's not good.
I went, oh, don't do this to me. And he goes, well, I got good news and bad news. I said, well, I demand the good news. He said, I was able to find a key fob. So you're not on the hook for that $160. He goes, I reprogrammed yours. We were able to take care of it. And yours, it works now. It's good. I said, that's amazing. Thank you for saving me that money. And he goes, well, don't thank me just yet. I said, all right, well, what's up with the car? And he goes, well, I can tell you piecemeal and tell you things that you need to have, or I can just tell you flat out exactly how much it all is. I said, just bury me. Well, $2,800 would fix everything today. And I said, we are not fixing everything today. And he laughed. I said, you need to tell me what I have to do to stay on the road. What do I definitely need done today? And he goes, well, there's a tiny leak in your crankcase. So we need a new seal on the oil and to make sure you don't get an oil leak that develops. And there's your belts, all of them. Your engine belt, your fan belt, whatever the fuck. JCPenney 398, all of those belts. Black belt, Mr. Miyagi, fucking fix them all. And so I said, all right, well, he goes, what can you spend today? I said, I can probably give you $500. He goes, that will do the belts. That'll do the oil. That'll do your air filter, which we need to do as well. I said, well, what does it leave? And he goes, you need struts, your shocks. And he just runs down this list of shit that I don't know about because I'm not a man. He goes, but this is the stuff that you absolutely need. He goes, if any of your belts go, you're stranded. And they are all cracked. He goes, have you ever had them replaced? I go, well, you got it in a computer there. I don't. And he goes, you haven't had that kind of service yet on your car. So it's been 7 years. And I go, well, I didn't drive it much, but now I am. And he goes, well, that's probably why. But we'll do that and take care of it today. For $500, we'll get all that squared away. And I said, great. I said, you got to do it. He goes, all right. I said, can I pick it up now? And he goes, no. He goes, we haven't even started it yet. And it's 5:40. I said, don't you guys close at 8? He goes, no, we close at 7. I go, well, is it going to be done by then? He goes, no. And I'm like, well, you're not leaving me much of a choice. I go, I need the car tomorrow. I work a double in Venice. I have to go. And he said, well, that's no problem. He goes, just come on in and I'll get you a loaner. I'll take care of it. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah. I go, all right, well, your driver's coming to get me already. And as he does that, I get a phone call on the other line. It's Ed, the tech. I go outside, get back into the dice, and roll back to the dealership. Talk to Melvin. I see the list of things, and he goes, yeah, we'll get you a loaner. What do you need? And I go, what do you got? I go, and he goes, well, I go, dude, just don't stick me in a Versa or some bullshit. I go, I'm a fat dude. I go, you know what? I go, I want a Murano. I go, I have a Murano. That's what I'm leaving with you. I'd like to take a Murano. He goes, all right, I can take care of that. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah, no problem. He goes, we'll just stay here. You get insurance? And I go, yeah, I got. He goes, full coverage? I go, yeah. He goes, great, it'll cover. So let's do it. So I drove off the lot in a 2013 Murano on Thursday night, which is fucking amazing. You know, I love my car, but then you just see a better version of your car. You know, it would be like, oh, this is gonna be a bad analogy. Never mind. Bullshit. It's like being married for 25 years. And then all of a sudden, your 18-year-old wife walks into your life, and you go, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" You know what I mean? It just kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. And I didn't know Karen when she was 18, and that wasn't about me. It was just an analogy. Stop. But I drove off in the Murano. It was limp dick silver, which I didn't care about. I don't like a silver car. Fuck that. You know what? Paint a car. Paint your fucking car. Silver's stupid. It's just dumb. It's like silver's for robots and old ladies. Just fucking paint your goddamn car. Yeah, because they wear silver necklaces and chokers and shit like that. Fucking silver earrings. I don't want to see a silver car. It's just limp dick. It is. It made no effort whatsoever. You see silver cars on the road. I don't even know who picked them out. That's just people who said, I want all this and this and this. They went, do you care about the color? They said, nah, fuck no. You got everything else? Done. Silver's a limp dick color for a car. Silver is for robots and old ladies, goddammit. So, but other than that, it was fucking amazing. The GPS is like incredibly improved. And here's the thing that I fucking loved iPod Vagina. Oh my God, dudes. I have to be honest with you. I love my Murano, and I'm going to drive it into the fucking ground. But the fact that it doesn't have an iPod Vagina is just the worst. That's really the only reason I want to buy a new car. Is for the iPod Vagina, because I plugged in my fucking iPod and that was it. It just played all day, and it's charging itself from the engine. Oh, what a self-sufficient vehicle! I loved it so much. God damn it, you people with iPod Vaginas are so lucky. So you know, I have to have a 6 CD changer with 18 songs on each song. So that's I've got 108 songs that I travel around with, but then you got to hop around. And then sometimes you make the wrong choice. I made a fucking car mix CD, and it was awesome because I put some cool stuff on there. I threw on Chris Brown, which you might not like, but I love that song. And then I threw on some Justin Timberlake stuff, and I threw in some Daft Punk. But then I threw in some Fleetwood Mac, and I'm driving around listening to Silver Springs and lip syncing in the mirror and crying because I'm an idiot. But then I put in too much Fleetwood Mac. I don't even know how I did it. Like I put Gypsy on there. Who the fuck wants Gypsy in their car? Nobody. You know who does? Old ladies and robots. It's the only people who want fucking Gypsy. I guess it worked. It actually worked. No, it didn't, because that's in my car. God damn it, red, fucking red. That's a man's color. It isn't. So I the next day I told him, I go, hey, I have to deliver food tomorrow. You know, I'm going to be on the road all day with this car. He goes, that's fine. He goes, yeah, insurance. We're good. So the next day I drove that fucking limp dick silver Murano all over Venice Beach and delivered fucking food. It was great. It was like, and the best part is when you pull up in that and you hand somebody their coleslaw, they're like, where the fuck did you get that car? How the fuck do you have that? And then they don't tip you. Because they figure you're rich. They're like, look at that car. Here's $2 for you, son. What are you talking about? I got to pay for this car. But I really don't. Although they may have been scowling and under-tipping because of the silver. Blah. What a fucking nothing color for a car. So awful. I would rather have a car colored primer. And I say that confidently as a man who has no idea what primer is. I just know I've heard it as a joke in many shows, and I think it's a bad color. Whenever I hear primer, I think it's nail polish remover for cars. Because everybody's like, oh, we'll buff that out and put some primer on it. I'm just like, oh, it must be like nail polish remover for cars. Okay. I'm serious. So I drive the Murano all day, and then I had to go back on Saturday. And Mel was able to manipulate some more stuff, and he got me down to like 440, which was good. But there's still so much shit to fucking make. But at least I got my car back. And it's rolling, and it's fine. Brakes are still a little mushy, but he said they weren't bad. And then he's like, no, your brakes are fine. You got plenty of time on those. He goes, it's 30% in the back and 20% in the front. I'm like, what does that mean? That sounds awful. He goes, no, it's good. You're fine. I said, all right. Because I probably could have paid to have my brakes done anyway. Because, folks, I have a lot of cash on hand. That's a lie. Not anymore. I tell you what, when you're paying cash for everything, dude, do you watch every goddamn bottom line? So when he's like, yeah, you need $500, you just look at your bank and you go, there's that cushion gone. And you got to walk the tightrope. But here's the good news. I make $500 when I walk the tightrope. I hire myself out at children's parties and I make $500. So it all balances out, folks. But yeah, but when you live by yourself, it changes, because normally Karen I would have called her and she would have picked me up at the dealership and then we would have gone out or something. And the next day I probably could have used her car and driven her to work or something. It's weird the decisions you make and the things you have to do when you're alone, because you're alone. You're clearly alone. And after being not alone for 20 years, for so long, it's not bad. I'm not, pissing and moaning or whining about it, but it's just different and it changes. Here's what happens when you're alone. I came home late and, I go to the house and I go inside and I was going to watch the Blackhawks. But I had to take the garbage out because also when you're alone, folks, you don't have to take the garbage out like all the time. You can wait. And also the garbage doesn't fill up nearly enough because apparently my wife isn't there wasting everything. So, and that's a lie, but for some reason she generated a lot of trash. My wife's a grouch. So I'm there and I had to take the garbage out. I'm like, all right, well, dude, take the garbage out and then so you can relax. So I go in the house and I bag the garbage. I throw away some bananas that I did not get to eat, clean out the fridge, clean out all the little garbage pails, fill up this fucking bag. This is boring as fuck. But then I walk out of my house to head down to the dumpster. And the dumpster's on the outside of the house, so you have to walk through gates and stuff. So I start walking down there, and I get to the gate, and these guys annoy the piss out of me because I told you, all these young people live in my building now, and they don't have landlines. So you can't buzz them at the buzzer. You have to call their cell phone, and then they will come and get you. Well, they're lazy. They don't want to fucking come and get you, so they're propping open every gate in the building. They jam like Kleenex in the lock, or they'll put a brick and they pop it open, and it drives me crazy, and I close them every time. I pull the fucking paper out, and it's just because I'm old. I'm a grandfather. But if I work in a security building and I had to pay $30 extra for the keys, then that's it. Fuck you. Get off your ass and let your friends in to play fucking Halo. Whatever the fuck you do with your life, child. Divorced man taking his garbage out at midnight here. Step aside. I'm floating to the dumpster on a cloud full of grumbles. Get out of my way, goddammit. I don't have a lawn, but if I did, you'd get off it. I'm the oldest man alive. Sourpuss. So I go back, and so I get to the gate, and the fucking brick is there, and I'm just like, God damn it, why is this fucking brick here? So I open the gate, and I go to move the brick, and the reason they don't want the brick so it doesn't lock the gate. And so I don't know what even made me think of it, but my head flashed, and I went, wait a minute. And I reached into my pocket, and I didn't have my keys. And I was crestfallen, folks. And so I closed my eyes, and I hung my head, and I prayed a little. There are no atheists locked out of apartments, folks. And I thrust my hand into my other pocket to find it empty. Because the first thing I do when I walk in my house now is, and you're going to laugh, but this is totally true. I've been losing weight, working out. And in doing so, parts of me are different. We covered one of those parts earlier in the show. I keep a special folder of that in my phone. And someday I'll show you the before and afters, folks, if you really care. But there are other parts of me that are different, arms and whatnot. But you're going to laugh. Ha ha, I hope. Because it is a comedy show, ostensibly. My ass is different. In that I've lost a lot of it. Not enough of it, certainly. And I have no muscle ass. But I have almost like a bony muscle ass. So there's not as much cushion. So when I sit down, I can feel my wallet. Like it hurts. Like it's like sitting on a camel's hump. I mean, it's crazy. And it's not full of money or anything like that. It's just a fucking thing. It's just an object. But I can tell that I'm sitting on it. I am no princess, folks. And this wallet is no pee. But I can feel it nonetheless. So the first thing I do when I get in my house is I put my keys and my wallet. I take them out of my pockets because I get jabbed with the keys, and the wallets, I don't like sitting on it, and I put it in a tray that's on my desk. So that's what I did. And then I went and grabbed the garbage because I was sleepwalking because all I wanted to do was watch the Hawks and fucking relax because I'd worked a double. And I forgot to grab my keys on the way out. Now, I've locked myself out of my apartment a few times since Karen left, but always during daytime hours. And that takes 10 steps to the manager's office. You knock on the door. She rolls her eyes at you, and then she goes and gets her keys and lets you into your house. Because she just goes, divorced guy, again. Because in the old days when I locked myself out of my apartment, I would wail like a banshee and pound on a door. And then my wife would get out of her dead sleep that she was relaxing in before she went to work the next day to help support us and let me in the house. And I would say, thanks, hon. And then I'd go on the internet and watch porn. So this time, however, she's sleeping that beauty sleep somewhere else. And no amount of pounding on my door is going to wake her up, folks. Actually, I apologize. She's awake. She woke up, and that's why she's not around for me to pound on the door anymore. So the only thing I will say is, thank God I checked before I actually went out the gate. Because then I'm outside. Then I have no play. Then the only thing I can do is mash buttons at the front to get me into the courtyard. That's another wave of locks I have to deal with. Like if I go out, then I've got to get through 2 locked gates and then into my apartment. Well, now I'm still in the apartment complex, so I don't have fuck the gates. I don't have to deal with that. But I got to get into my house. So I go back, and like I said, it's 12:30, I think. And I still have the bag of garbage. So sad. And I actually, because again, I'm not good with logistics at all, folks. I think you know that about me. I'm not a puzzle person. I can figure stuff out if I have to. Folks, I took a Mensa test, or at least an IQ test, and I did okay. So I'm good. I took an IQ test, and I turned out to be normal and regular. So I'll tell you what, folks, I got a leg up. So I don't know what to do because I can't figure it out. Like you know what I want to do? I just want to run through the door, like, and then sit down and watch hockey. Like that's it. I just want in. I want in. I'm no good at the math. I don't want to wait for that. Right now I'm staring at my apartment and there's a big exclamation point on my door telling me that something's wrong. So if someone had looked at me, it would have looked like a chimp trying to break out of their exhibit at the zoo, where I'm just standing there with my hands kind of on my hips, and then I scratched my head a couple of times. I actually stood back from my apartment so I could see my apartment in total and figure out the weak spots. Like I was casing the joint. I was actually casing the joint. So my first instinct was to pick the lock. Because, the deadbolt was not locked, obviously, since I had not had the keys. But if I get a credit card and slip it in, I can just pop the lock and go into my house. I have done this before, folks. Not at my house. I've done it at other houses. By year 1. Year 2? Year 1. Or did I tell that story? I don't know. I might have. But I also used to do it as a kid. I would get in anybody's bedroom or anywhere. I could just fucking take a credit card and just slide it through and just get in. Thank you, Robert Wagner. So I'm pretty sure I saw it on It Takes a Thief. I think that's where I first saw it. Perhaps on the Rockford Files. Maybe on Barnaby Jones. Might have been canon. Our friend Scott Phillips thinks it may have been McMillan and Wife. So I pick a lot of locks is my point. Or not pick a lot of locks. I slide the credit card in. It's really a brute force way of doing things. There's a little niftiness involved. And folks, I am nothing if not a little nifty. So, Jesus Christ, turn it off. Just turn the show off. We're done. We can't talk anymore. I'm a little nifty. Short, spout? All right, so stout. All right. So I try to jam and again, I was trying to figure out what credit card to use, and I'm actually going through them like, well, I don't want to do that. And then I went, dude, none of these work anymore. They're credit cards in name only. You know what they are? They're actually, you have a wallet full of burglars' tools. So you can go ahead and just try to get in. So I said, it's perfect. So I reached into my pocket, and I didn't have my wallet filled with my credit cards. So there goes breaking in the fucking door, except for the Chinese menus that were up by the mailbox.
Really?
That's all I got. So I went to the front and I grabbed the Chinese menus and I folded them to the approximate width of a credit card, and then I tried to slide them into my door and get it. And it wasn't. Look, let me talk to you Chinese people for just a second. Your menus are too flimsy. Don't you realize nobody is reading your menus? They're only using them to break into apartments. You got to do some structural repairs, bring some new construction into it. Get a new company to print them up on some new stock. Because I folded them over twice and 3 times over to jam them in, and it's funny, you can just about get them in the crack, but then you can't slide them down and then they tear. It's just not working out for you Chinese people. They rethink it, rethink the whole thing, because that's what I had to do. I had to rethink the whole thing. I stepped back, and I looked at the big screen that was covering the picture window, and I knew I could get the screen off, but I wasn't sure how I could get the window open. And my great fear, by the way, is that people will break into my house. Every time I leave my house, I lock it. And it's so stupid, because I have a neighbor who leaves his door open, not just his screen door, his house door, and he will drive away. And he'll come back like an hour and a half later and just go back into his house, which is ridiculous. I think that everybody wants my stuff. Everybody wants my laptop. Everybody wants my letter opener. Everybody wants those things. I got a house full of plates people want to steal. Well, one person doesn't. So I'm sitting there staring, and I'm trying to figure out, so I get the screen off, and then I'm trying to slide the window open. I'm trying to take it off its hinges. I'm shaking it. I'm actually pushing it to try to breach it a little bit so I can slide a finger in and slide it over, but it's locked. It's got a clasp at the end. And I know physics. I know that's not going to work, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't help me decide what to do other than to just push on the fucking window, like, gong, 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 like make noise. And now it's 1 in the morning. It's 1 in the morning. And I don't want to get the manager. What's your question?
Why don't you want to get the manager? That's their job.
It's 1 in the morning. She got a kid.
That's their job.
Sleep. They're mad at me in the afternoon when I come and get them. I get them 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they'll be furious. Or 1 o'clock in the morning, furious. They'll be as mad as you were.
I wasn't mad.
You're very angry.
I wasn't angry.
So I'm just shaking the window. That's all I'm doing. I'm hoping reverberations will open the clasps somehow. Which doesn't make sense, because then in an earthquake, your windows would completely fly open. It's just dumb logic. But it's 1 o'clock in the dark logic, because I just wanted to get in my fucking house and watch hockey. So I can't use a Chinese menu to pick the lock, and I can't fucking shake the window off of its hinges. So I have one other play. The kitchen window. And I realize the kitchen window is open. So all I need to do is take my screen off and get in the window. But the problem is, the picture window I can just walk through like a grown-up. The kitchen window, Lily's been to my house. It's about 5 feet off the ground. And also it's square. I'm not. So I don't know if round peg and square hole is going to work. I know square peg and round hole absolutely doesn't work. But luckily this time we've got round peg and square hole. Still, I think the same thing will apply. We'll find out, folks. And I don't know how I'm going to get 5 feet up into the window. I can do it, but I don't want to do it because also there's a window there, and then there's a sink and a fucking countertop. You've been in my kitchen. All right, but it's going to be easy, because you know what I'm going to do, folks? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a patio chair. I go and grab a patio chair. I pull it over, take the screen off. All I got to do is climb up on there and get in my house. The only thing I got to maneuver past the fucking sink and everything else. So I climb up on the patio chair, and I start to lean in the window. And I'm about halfway in. I'm at waist level. The top half of me is in the house. The bottom half of me, not in the house. It's on top of the patio chair. Now, look, I've been working out a lot. And I think I'm in a lot better shape than I was. But you're never in as good a shape as you think you are. And as much weight as you lose, and though you may feel much lighter, 280 pounds is still a pretty good bill of sale. I'm leaning in, and the chair is kind of shaky. So in my head, I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm going to kick this over and hang myself in the fucking window. Somehow get caught on the curtain rod, and I get spun up and die. Oh, how I wish the chair had toppled over. because as I felt it shaky, I thought it was shaky because it was going to fall because I was shifting my weight to try to get into the building, and then I had to push off of it to climb into the kitchen. So I set my base, and I got half of me in, and I put my hands in the sink, and then I pushed off with my feet to go and shoot myself into the house, acrobat style. All I needed was a fucking cape, baby. Because I was just, you know what? I wanted to clear the sink. I didn't want to fuck with the sink. I didn't want to fuck with the countertop. And there's a dish drain there full of fucking dishes. Because I wash my dishes, folks. All right, I'm a grown man. I don't put them away. Which is why I have a dish drain full of dishes. Literally, every bowl and every spoon in my house is dirty from oatmeal and fucking yogurt. That's it. Literally every butter knife, every spoon, and every bowl that I own are dirty. Well, they're in the dish drain once I wash them, but they're dirty because I will use them until they're done. Because I will make oatmeal and put it in a bowl, and then I'll take a butter knife and cut a banana, and then I'll use a spoon to eat it, and then put it on the countertop until I do them all. I wash them all like in a week. They're not dirty. I rinsed them. They're rinsed. They're just sitting there. They're rinsed out. I just haven't washed them with soap just yet. Because I could, but why should I? I live alone. I make my own rules, Chief.
Oh my God.
I do what I want.
Obviously.
So I'm standing on the chair, and I go to because I don't want to fuck with all the dishes in the dish drain. And I know it's going to be a problem, but so instead I fucking kind of squish down a little bit, and I squat, I bend my knees, and I push off to push myself over the sink and launch myself. And have you ever heard the phrase "a sickening crack"? I hear what sounded like a gunshot go off. And I just lose everything. I lose my balance. I fall and I tumble out of the window, and I hit the ground in a pile of plastic shards. The fucking chair exploded. I was halfway in and I pushed off, and the thing just fucking snapped, and I lost my balance. I fell down. I'm laying on the fucking ground, and I cut my elbow, and I'm looking. I'm bleeding, and I'm just lying in this pile of plastic and staring up at the empty hole mocking me. Literally, it was the mouth of my apartment laughing at me. The open kitchen window was like a mouth of my apartment just fucking laughing at me. And I'm laying there, fucking plastic, bleeding arm, and I'm waiting for everyone to come running out, because there's no way they didn't hear that fucking noise. There's no. I just murdered a chair, and violently. I didn't put it to sleep. I didn't quietly choke it out. I'm not a chair ninja, folks. I'm a goddamn chair serial killer. I'm just a chair brute. I'm like Godzilla. I stomped on that fucking chair and it exploded. I'm on the ground. I'm looking up, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, God damn it. And I just start laughing because there's nothing else you can fucking do. I'm just like, you're an idiot, dude. A fucking idiot. And I can see my keys. That's the worst part. So then part of me is like, maybe I get a fishing pole, like some Three Stooges Little Rascals plan. Or I'm like, I can get a fishing pole, and if I can snag it, and maybe a clothes hanger, and then I can, oh man, fucking ridiculous. The shit you think of when you're on the ground at 1 in the fucking morning, bleeding, covered in plastic shards, and being mocked by your own apartment's mouth. Oh, terrible. So I got a garbage bag on one side and just plastic all over the fucking place. So I gather all that up, and I kind of rebuild the chair, and I put it over by the table, like maybe they won't know it's me. And I go, fuck this, I'm just getting in the house. So, because I've hopped a fence. We've all hopped fences before, right? And so I get to the window, and I just go, fuck it, you're just doing it. You're just jumping up. You're jumping up and propelling yourself in, and whatever the fuck happens, happens. So I got my eyes closed because I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's dark in there, and you don't want to see what the fuck's going to happen anyway. It's just going to be carnage. It's just going to be carnage. So I've got my hands on the fucking windowsill, and the thing I'm worried about is my shoulder going into the window and breaking that, because that I can't do. I mean, that's whatever the fuck else happens. I can't bust the faucet, and I can't bust the window, because that's what I picture too, is I'm going to get in and knock the faucet off, and water just goes spraying up in the air, and then me and Lucy have to cry and call Ricky. I mean, it'll be the fucking worst. Oh, that started as a Ricky cry. It almost sounded like Ricky, because I was going to go, wah, but I went, oh, I don't know. Is Lucy a dinosaur in the movie? What the fuck was that? Lucy's Blob from the old fucking Dirty Dragon show. All right, never mind. So, that was from Chicago. You don't know what it is. You might have. You're in Florida. What? Giggle Snort Hotel. You don't remember that with Blob? Blob was terrible. He was a fucking lump of clay. And then and I hated it because he would mold Blob into something every week. And I always thought he was hurting him because he was cutting him with like a scalpel, and he was cutting parts of him off. And because Blob had this weird voice that's like, I can do it actually, but I won't. But it was just fucking, go look it up. Whatever the fuck. Giggle Snort Hotel and Blob. I'm an idiot. So I think I've talked about it before. I think we talked about it on fucking Never Not Funny, because Pardo met BJ from BJ and Dirty Dragon, who then hosted on Giggle Snort Hotel. And it turns out that BJ was gay, BJ Thomas, and he actually hit on Pardo's dad one time when they went to go get a fucking autograph thing. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, so I think we told that story. If we didn't, there it is. There's that story. Go by Never Not Funny Year 1. So I've got my hands on the fucking windowsill, and I've got my eyes closed, and I don't want to hit my head because I know I'm going to jump. And who am I, Michael Jordan? I'm going to hit my head on the fucking ceiling. Sure, that's going to happen. But in my head, all these terrible things are going through my skull. But I'm like, I just got to get in the fucking house. I got to watch hockey and relax. Just get me in the fucking house. So I got my hands on the windowsill, and my eyes are closed. And I'm actually like, you ever see guys in the luge when they're doing that thing where they're rocking back and forth before the bell goes and they shoot themselves into the fucking tube? That's what I'm about to do, goddammit. I'm actually rocking back and forth, holding the windowsill, and I'm like, all right, getting myself warmed up, getting myself psyched up because I know I'm about to destroy a ton of shit, but at least I'll be in the goddamn house. We already have a body count. We already have one chair down. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen inside. So I got my hands on the fucking windowsill and I'm pumping and I'm like leaning and I'm going, and in my head I'm just going, all right, you just got to do this. Just got to go on a count of 3. 1, you're going to jump in there. You're going to avoid that sink. But even if you can't avoid the sink, you're going to knock that shit over, and it doesn't matter because none of it matters. All that matters is getting in the fucking house 2. And then you're going to go in just a second now, but really think about it. Do not hit your head. Do not hit the window. Those are the most important things, and try to avoid the faucet at all counts because you didn't want to get Naomi to let you in. The last thing you want to fucking do is get Naomi to fucking fix your sink at 1:30 in the goddamn morning. 3! And I just fucking jump. And I propel my body up, and folks, I've been working out a lot. So, my arms, my shoulders, my upper body is really strong. And I've lost a lot of weight. But I can tell you this, you're never as light as you think you are. And 280 pounds. Did you just break your glasses?
I did.
How the fuck what did you do? You just took them off your head and they snapped and broke?
Yeah. I'm enjoying your story. Keep going.
Those are cheap frames. They couldn't take the tenseness of the story. They couldn't take the... You know what? I remember I talked earlier about the tension between us. It's so thick, it just broke your glasses frames. Exactly. Shut up. That's all you want. You're like, get the fuck out of my house.
Don't mock my broken glasses.
Why? You've got the money. That's my point. It's like, no matter what the fuck happens, you're always just like, God damn it. What now? What now? Well, you know what? When I'm finished, we'll maybe take a look at those and get those fixed.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay, good. I'm pretty good with my hands from what I heard. All right. So, folks, again, I've been lifting weights and I've been working out, so my upper body strength is much better. But, and I've lost weight. But 280 pounds is still a pretty big bill of sale. So as I go to put myself through the window, I elevate, certainly, because I'm very, very athletic. But gravity shows up. I thought gravity took off at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm past 1. It's late. Where's gravity? Why is gravity fucking with me at this point? But I jump up, and gravity grabs me right in the midsection and sucks me down. Boom! And I'm in the exact same position I was in with the chair. I'm halfway in and halfway out. Like, my gut is, like, in... but everything from the waist down is out. And I literally landed, boom, and I'm just there, and I'm like, oh, God, what? Because I thought I was going to vault in and do a somersault and then fucking check my corner and check both rooms like Clarice Starling and not get shot in the head. It would have been perfect. But instead, I'm just a human 7. So I'm there on the fucking windowsill, and my legs are dangling, and I go, fuck this, just get in. So I try to scurry up. Now, there's no purchase on the wall. It's just a stucco wall. So I have to kind of brace myself with my arms, and I put my one arm in the sink, and then I put my other arm in the other, and it flips the dish drain. And everything goes in the air because I put my weight on it. Because I was stupid. I thought I could put it on the end of the sink, but it got the part of the dish drain, and it fucking flipped it, and everything, bowls, everything goes up in the air. Crazy. I just hear it all hit the ground and smash, and I'm like, God damn it. I use the sink to pull myself up, and I'm kicking my legs like a kid learning how to swim. And I finally get my gut over, and I get the rest of me over my thighs, and now I'm on the countertop. And I'm all curled up like a fucking ham, and I'm trying to make sure my fucking feet don't kick the window or the faucet, and I got a knee in the sink, and then the other leg comes through, and I start to get a cramp in my hip because I'm bent weird, and I start to straighten that out, and then I go over and I lean, and I knock my fucking protein, my Vitamix thing over. Oh my God, the whole fucking countertop, it's just carnage. There's just a mess. Everything's a mess. And I climb in and I'm on the countertop. And my legs are still outside and I'm trying to work them around. And finally, I scooch up. I knock my other protein, soy protein, on the ground. And I get my legs in. And they're across the sink. So I'm on the countertop, curved around the sink, like a snake, basically. And I'm scared to hop off. Because I know the floor is covered in booby traps at this point that are all my fault. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's dark. The only light is from an outside light that's swinging back and forth. So I'm in a Hitchcock film, perched up on a countertop, strangers in a kitchen, Sink by Sink West. And this is going to sound so selfish and so stupid, but as I lay there and I thought to myself, I went, you know what? This is only happening because Karen left. If Karen would have been here, she would have opened the door. If Karen would have been here, I probably wouldn't even forgotten my keys. If Karen would have been here, I wouldn't even thought twice about it, and I would have just knocked on the door, and she would have let me in. I wouldn't have had to fucking knock shit over, and I wouldn't have had to break a fucking chair. If only Karen would have been here, I would have just had an open window, or maybe even an open door. I could have just not. If only Karen had been here, none of this would have happened. So I climbed up the countertop. I stepped gingerly among everything that was on the ground. I turned on the light and I looked, and there was bowls and forks, and they were plastic bowls, thankfully, and forks and knives and a cutting board, and there was a broken plate. It was one of Karen's grandma's plates that I had used for no reason. I think I cut a lemon on it because the cutting board I didn't want to wash because I had just cut something else on it. So I was like, I'll cut a lemon on the plate. Oh, Jesus. Listen, you make your own rules when you're alone. But I saw the plate, and I felt sad for a second. I won't lie. I felt bad because, again, I've been telling her over and over, come and get these fucking plates. But I'll be honest with you. If she comes to get these plates and she knows how many there are, and she goes, hey, there's one of these missing, I'm going to go, yeah, one of them broke, and it's your goddamn fault. So when I say that I've never lived alone, is when I say that I live alone now, just know that if someone leaves you after 20 years, you may live by yourself, but you're not really alone. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can find me at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. Be my friend there. Why not? It's America's Yearbook. Let's be pals. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can get our friend David Hernandez, who does all of the artwork and all of the music. I talked to him earlier, and I think you heard music earlier because he gave me the go-ahead. He's trusting me, so I think you heard his music earlier. And please know, by the way, that that's from literally 20 years ago when he recorded that, and he recorded it to a cassette on a 4-track, and then I dubbed it to a CD because I liked it so much. So, because he's going to be pissed about the quality and everything else, and I told him about it, and he's like, dude, I'll trust you, whatever, because I love it, so I hope you liked it too. But you can find him at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez, and you can get him for any sort of artwork or anything you want to hire him for at artbydmh.com. That's artbydmh.com, and you can check out his all of his work there, his portfolio, and all the stuff he's done for us, stuff he's done for other businesses and things like that. Go check it all out and hire him to do all of your artwork type stuff. Our friend Lily Von Stupp can be followed at 3 different Twitter accounts: Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, Twitter.com/MNTs, and Twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. You can follow her, be her friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. You can go to the Monday Night Teas page and join there and get all the information for all of those shows. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But if you'd like to write Lily a personal note,
Just don't.
And this week I know you do, you can get her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Business, get it at, business. Let Mike Schmidt sell you the new box set with Year 1 through Year 5. Get it at business. There's also artwork there for you to get. Plush Schmidt comes alive. Get
one that you prefer. Hear the big angry. Get it at Joe Business. Business is the place to your dirt dirt. For the life of Schmitty. Get it Get it at Joe. Get it at. Get it at Joe. Get it at. Get it at Joe Business.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. I've been to that show many times. I was going to go this week and unfortunately could not. I wound up driving there and parking and not going in because I was in a phone conversation, a very detailed phone conversation. And then I had to hightail it back out because I really wanted to see some of the acts. Unfortunately, I could not. However, the good news is it's every Monday. I could go every fucking Monday. You just miss one, I go to the next one. It's perfect. I happen to know the proprietor of that show, not of the bar. Actually, I've met the proprietor of the bar. But
Oh, stop it.
I know the person who books that show on Mondays, and she does an exceptional job. She's a little taskmaster. She'll get on you sometimes, and she's not afraid to tell you what she thinks, and she's also not afraid to tell you that you should shut the fuck up. But I do love her. She is my good friend, Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily, how are you?
I am fantastic, Michael.
I'm glad to hear it. Last week's Monday Night Teas that I missed, unfortunately. I heard it went well.
It did.
There was a Bo Toxic there,
There was.
who I really wanted to see. That was the person I really wanted to see. And then Easel of Amp. And wasn't there an out-of-town person as well?
New locals.
Oh, new locals.
Yeah. Cameo. Well, no, there
Wait,
was-
hold on a second. Cameo played the Monday Night Teas?
Cameo.
Word up.
No, not Cameo. Cameo.
So it sounds like you had oh pretty ladies from around the world. Did one of them have a weird thing to show me? They should tell all the boys and girls.
It was a great show.
Ow!
Fun was had by all.
Ow! Tastes like candy. Ow! Did you wear a codpiece?
No.
What? Roger Blackman is furious at you. Did Roger Blackman wear a cameo piece, codpiece?
He wore a camisole.
Oh, you wore a camisole?
Word up.
All right. Was he with Archibald Barisal?
No, I'm done. Oh, the crestfallen look on your face. Your whole body slumped 5 inches.
Yes, it did.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because, see, no matter how you purport to be over it, no matter how you say it's finished and done, I get grabbed by the scruff of the neck and have my face rubbed in it yet again.
It's a joke. It's all good. We're all good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? What are we? What are we from the 90s? What are we? We're all good, folks. I don't know if you know that, because apparently Lily is now Matthew McConaughey. It's all good. Okay, Wooderson. That's what Lily loves about this show. She gets older and I stay the same age. 9. All right, so the Monday Night Teas was amazing last week, and that went well, and you were good, and everything was fine. And then it's coming up again this Monday. Is it a theme show?
No.
That's coming up in 2 weeks. Halloween show.
Yes.
Exciting. But this week is just a spectacular Monday Night Teas.
It is.
Are you-
Buddy are hosting.
Snapper and Buddy will be in there doing their antics with their plaid coats. Will you be dancing or just business Lily?
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. It's a coin flip right now, but you can.
No, I don't think I'm doing anything on Monday. I think
Okay.
I'm just gonna be there
You just be.
wearing my new Hollywood Burlesque Festival shirt.
Oh, those are nice. I did like those, and I've had kind of a hard time with this show because we had to stop a few times, as you know. And Lily, one time there was a delivery of shirts while I was talking, because Lily gets shirts delivered right to her. I got to go get mine and all other bullshit. But Lily gets them right to her door, and then she cut them open and she goes, "Yay! Look at my new shirt!" And it's a white tank top. And
I know what boys like.
yeah. And so Lily comes in and thrusts her tits in my face. She's like, "What do you think? And look at the design. I got it actually a couple of inches lower so it focuses on your tits because your tits look spectacular. And then I got it wide all the way out so it's not just a square box and it makes your tits look huge." And I'm like, "You did not need the help at all, at all." I've just got barbells staring me in the face and I'm just like, "We're fighting. We're fighting." Well, okay, I'm not fighting anymore. So those are nice. Those are great shirts and those will be available.
Did you like the shirt?
I-
Those are nice.
Wow. Yes, all of it, the whole package. Your tits make that shirt look great,
Thank you.
and vice versa. Are those on sale now?
They will be. They'll
Okay.
be on the website. I don't think I'll be able to get them up tonight.
That's at Hollywood Burlesque Festival. That's what she said. That's at HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com, correct?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's talk first about Monday Night Teas. You get the show coming up this Monday, and Snapper and Buddy are hosting. A ton of the hot girls are there. That'll be great, taking their clothes off. And as I said, you can go to MondayNightTees.com. You can go to the Facebook.com/Monday Night Teas page. Follow, get all the information. You can post. You'll learn all the cool stuff about who's going to be there in the coming weeks. And tickets are available at Brown Paper Tickets for all of these shows, these Monday Night Teas shows. And I should tell you, the Hollywood Burlesque Festival is coming up in the first week of December, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, I believe. And like I said, there'll be shirts available soon, and you can buy tickets now. Is that also Brown Paper Tickets?
Yes.
BrownPaperTickets.com. Just search Lily Von Stup's name, or you can search Hollywood Burlesque Festival, or you can search Monday Night Teas. Get tickets for any and all of these events. They are all available right now. Hollywood Burlesque Festival is going to be huge. I'm talking to Lily today about some of the new plans. She's got bags, pink bags for performers. I mean, it's a huge production. And Lily is working so hard on it. So please, if you're going to come, get a ticket early so she knows that you're coming, and she doesn't fucking freak out. She needs to relax a little bit. You know, because when you book a gigantic theater, you're like, I can't wait to sell tickets. And though she sold a bunch of tickets, you can always sell more. So go ahead and buy some tickets now at brownpapertickets.com for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, the first week of December. Second week of December. What's the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th?
6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
6th. Why didn't you correct me earlier? I said it wrong.
I don't remember. I swore you said it was the 6th.
No, I said it wrong. God damn it, I said it wrong. Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I swore you said it was the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, folks. So that's those tickets are available now for the second week of December. Oh, my Christ. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com. Folks, I don't know numbers. I'm not good at any of this. You know that. Go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy, and you can be my friend, and you can see my live dates. They're always posted there. We are working, and by we, I mean David is working, on getting, we're going to have an appearances page on the website, because we got grandiose plans, folks, that are going to fail miserably, but who cares? The fun is in the attempt. So he's going to make an appearances page, and we're going to have that up on the website, and you'll know where I'm going and links to tickets and all that fun stuff. Right now, I only have 2 dates on the books. And that's probably going to be it for the rest of 2013. This Saturday night, folks. This Saturday. Today you're hearing this is Thursday. So you've got 2 days left of online ticket sales to buy tickets to see me in Seattle at the Jewel Box Theater at the Rendezvous. Come and see me talk and tell a lot of stories that are filthy. Maybe a lot of stories. Maybe one story that's filthy. I don't know what's happening. I got a letter from somebody. She's like, hey, you keep saying that these are the raw stories and a lot of dirty talk. You know, I'm sending 3 20-year-olds. Is that going to be a problem? And in my head, I wanted to go, do you know your 20-year-olds? Because I would imagine that they're a lot filthier than I am, quite frankly. But they're not. They're all like pre-med dudes. And she's like, they're working so hard. I want them to go and see somebody who's, this is really very, I got to be honest, this is one of the best compliments I've ever received. She said, they are in pre-med and they're all working very hard to their doctorates. And I think it would be good for them to get out and see somebody who's already really good at his craft, to see what they're working toward to be the best in their business. And I may be chili dipping the wording on that, but it was really nice of her to say. So I said, bring them. That'll be great. So there are tickets available now, still available at brownpapertickets.com for Seattle this week. The Jewel Box at the Rendezvous show is at 7, I think. My plane lands at 11. I'm actually going to town on Saturday, doing the show, and then leaving Sunday morning at 6. This is like an in and out. And we have a friend in Seattle that I thought I was going to wind up seeing. I don't know if I am. Still, I haven't heard back.
I thought she was going to the show.
Huh?
I thought she was going to the show.
I don't.
She
She's
posted
not
about
played.
it.
No, she didn't. She said friends go, but she
No,
ain't going.
She posted about it.
Oh well.
Twice.
All right. Well, we'll see.
I think she's going.
Well, that would be fun if she did. Although I don't know if she wants to hear these horrible stories. They're not horrible. They're just they're walking a thin line, walk a tightrope. I made $500. So come on out to Seattle. That'll be fun, and I will see you then. And in 2 weeks, folks, please remember that I will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the Green Room Lounge on Saturday, November 2nd. I'm going to be there. Again, I'm going to the Bears game on November 4th, and I may die. So come and see me on November 2nd, because that could be my last chance to see me as I perform. And I tell you, and boy, I'll tell you, there's no greater legacy to leave than telling a horrible sex story. So please come out and see that. Well, I don't know if I'm going to tell a horrible sex story. Well, it's not a story about horrible sex. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, just buy tickets and come to the show. So go to Seattle this weekend, Saturday, and then in 2 weeks, I will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the Green Room Lounge. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com. Search me, search my name, search Mike Schmidt, search the 40-year-old boy. You will find me and buy tickets, and that'll be great. 2 more days to buy online tickets for Seattle, and then 2 more weeks to buy tickets for Green Bay. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. There's all sorts of stuff on there for you. There is the For the Life of Schmitty download. There is the Schmitty Comes Alive download. There are tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds available. There's a gateway there, so you can go ahead and pick up some autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and some cock ring watches. And let's say a special thank you to Bruce right now. I may have mentioned this last week, but today I got 2 giant boxes of tweakedaudio.com earbuds for Lily to give away in swag bags for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce is the coolest guy ever. I met him at the podcast festival. I approached him with this idea, and he was like, yes, of course. Like, immediately. There wasn't even a hesitation on his part. So they've been great to us, and you guys do continue to buy from them, and I do appreciate it. If you want to get some of those, go ahead. Our friend Carrie Kaukonen, she gave, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. It's from Finland. I don't know. I have no idea. Carrie Kaukonen? We should cut this out, probably, because I've just offended a fan. But,
Why'd you offend her by mispronouncing?
because it might be a dude, too. Could be a guy, could be a lady. The
Be a
Kaukonens.
lady guy.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'll deliver a barbecue. So they just bought earbuds from Tweaked. Thank you so much. And I got that notice. So that was great. So thank you for supporting Tweaked. They support us, and we do appreciate it very much. Like I said, For the Life of Schmitty, Schmitty Comes Alive. Artwork is available, as I've mentioned to Nicole and I've mentioned to Paul. We are getting your artwork. David is taking care of it in the midst of all of he's got a lot of personal stuff going on right now, but once he gets that straightened out, we will get it rolling, and I will get those to you, and I with my great apologies, but thank you for waiting. They will be there. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5 of this podcast are available individually or as part of the UN of Evil download set. So go ahead and pick those up and get those to your house and enjoy them and hear my past. There is a donation button in the upper left-hand corner of every page of MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Click on that, and you can actually donate $2 a month, subscribing, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month. You can also make a one-time donation, like our good friend Lisa Wolf in Texas. Let's talk about Lisa for a second. Lisa came to my show in Austin. Well, wait, before we talk about Lisa, we got to talk about more on the... No, I'll talk about Lisa now. Lisa came to the show in Austin because you know why? This ties in perfectly. Lisa came to the show in Austin, and when I recapped Austin, I forgot to mention Lisa. She was the first person who met me. They came up to me in line. It was her and her sister and her friend, and extremely complimentary. She's been on board since your second episode, Lily, and so they were really friendly, and they're from downstate Illinois, so we were from Illinois together. Now she lives in Texas, and the 3 of them decided to yell at me because I was freaked out about roaches. They were like, "You're in Texas, man. There's roaches everywhere." She said there's a roach in her house with a name. She named a roach in her house. Like, she actually can recognize him. And she's like, "Yeah, he comes out when we're there hanging out." I'm like, "All right, well, that's you, and you're a freak. Good for you." I mean...
Offend her by not mentioning
Well...
it, but really offend her by telling her she's...
Because it's fucking... Don't tell me I'm weird for not liking roaches. That just seems ridiculous. I think you're on the wrong end of the spectrum of this, Lisa. But she, this week, she donated and then signed up also to monthly donate. And when she saw me live, she actually bought a yurt shirt and she bought a CD, which I should mention are available at joebusiness.com or MikeSchmidtComedy.com on the Joe Business page. The Big Angry CD is still available, $15 for autographed copies from my website. I will have them in Seattle this week. And I will also have yurt shirts this week in Seattle. Those are also available through the website for purchase. Thank you so much for the people who have stepped up and bought those. And I will tell you this, if you're coming to Seattle, you're coming to Green Bay, and you specifically want a sized shirt, like there's a size that you want, tell me so I know to bring it, because I don't bring many shirts. I mean, I bring enough, but I never know if it's the same size, and sometimes the 3XS will sell out and then someone's mad, and I don't want that. So if you specifically want a size and you know you're going to be at a show, write me so I know that I'm bringing it, and I'll actually tag it and I'll know it's there for you right when I get to the show. But Lisa wound up buying a CD and a shirt, and then yelled at me about the roaches, which was fine. But then I did the recap show, and then I just got an email yesterday, and it's in the headline on it, because she donated, and then the next thing was an email from her, and it just said, "I knew this would happen." And it was like, yeah, we were the first people who met you, and you did forget about us, but it makes sense because we ran off into the rain or whatever, and I just felt awful. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to, I didn't forget you. I knew exactly who you were once I was reminded of it, but I kind of meet a lot of people when I'm on the road. And it was my own fault. I should have remembered because, again, you were the first people. You were very complimentary and very nice. So thank you so much for all you've done for the show and for listening for so long. And thank you for coming out to Austin. I do appreciate that, Lisa. That's nice. And tell your sister and her friend that I'm glad they tolerated me for a night because there's no way they're still listening or they're even on board listening. That's not happening. So thank you. I do appreciate that very much. Let's talk about this for just a second as well. I have a P.O. box. If you guys want to send me stuff to my P.O. box, you can write me and I will give you the P.O. box. I'm not just going to give it out on the air because then I'm besieged by junk mail and people asking me for money. That happens all the time. You know how it is when you give your personal information out. But I have a P.O. box, and if you want to send me something, so you can write me and then I'll tell you what it is for Throat Punch Media. And you know what? A listener did just that. A listener by the name of Daniel Valerial went ahead and got my P.O. box. And when I picked up the tweet boxes today, there was a box from Daniel there. I didn't open it right away. I was excited. Wanted to come here and open it. And I said, open it on the show. And I said, no, what if it's a bomb? Open it before the show. Because then I don't have to do a show. So,
Thanks for opening it in my house.
well, listen.
Thinking it's a bomb.
Well, I knew it wasn't a bomb because there was an exclamation point on the outside. I knew there was something wrong with it. So I opened up the box. And you know what Daniel sent me? He sent me a Gumby and a Pokey. They are still in the package, individually packaged. You don't package Gumby and Pokey together, folks. You can't do that. You get them separately. Gumby sold separately, always. But they're figurines, they're just like the ones I had when I was a kid, and I used to work at a grocery store, and I would bring them to my job. And Bye Schmitty Comes Alive. You'll hear all about it. But yeah, it's a Gumby and a Pokey. And here's my two favorite things. I open it up. There's no note from Daniel. Literally, it is a Gumby and a Pokey and an empty box. That's all I got. Not a hey, Mike, not a fuck you, Mike. Just, hey, Gumby and Pokey. Take that in your face. But even better, he sent this priority mail. It is imperative that he gets Gumby and Pokey immediately. This man can't be without his Gumby and Pokey for much longer. He hasn't had one in 25 years. Actually 30 years. Jesus Christ, 27 years. That was when I owned Gumby and Pokey last time. Here we are 27 years later, still as popular, still as funny, still as beloved. Me, not Gumby and Pokey.
Are they gonna go in your pocket with you as you deliver Travis Barbecue?
Oh my God, yeah. You know what? I need to wear a dress shirt. I need to.
Adventures of
Yeah.
Gumby, Pokey,
And Travis Barbecue. We'll be chased by the blockheads. I will not have it. And where are Prickle and Goo? Hey, Valerial, where are Prickle and Goo? Couldn't fit him in the box, could you? Better get a different box. What if Valerial's my go-to guy for all things Gumby? He had to get me everybody, including Art Clokey's photograph. He had to send it all. Fuck that. Awesome. So thank you for Gumby and Pokey. Perhaps they will go with me on Travis Barbecue runs. Perhaps I'll take photos. It'll be like that gnome from fucking travelinggnome.com, whatever the fuck that website is. I don't know what the fuck it is. But we'll have Gumby and Pokey and we'll photograph them all over Los Angeles. Look at the work I'm creating for myself for nothing. But thank you, Daniel Valerio, for thinking of me and for rushing it to me because I've been missing them for so long. Cool. So thank you to everybody, Lisa and Daniel and everybody who donates and everybody who gives to the show. I do appreciate it very much. And you support me, you support Lily, you support David, and support all of those stupid things that we want to do. I shouldn't say we. You support all the goofy things that I want to do. They don't want to do these things. I make them do these things. But it's the lure of your sweet, sweet greenbacks that keep them involved, folks. None of this is true. And now I'm out. I mean, because we've stopped and, Lily and I are still a little angry at one another. So I've got to.
I've never been angry.
There's been so much tension here in the house. But I will tell you this. Before Lily decided that I wasn't worth it, she did one final thing for the show. She stepped up and she said to me the other day, she called me and she's like, "What's your ringtone on your phone?" I said, I don't know. I just use the swooping noise. Because as you folks know, I've talked a good game about ringtones. And I can never figure out how to use them. I have no clue how to put them on my phone. I don't want to buy one. And then I've asked people to send them to me. And then people did send me the Paul Stanley but I couldn't get it to work. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot is my point. And so I told Lily, I just use this like swooping noise on my phone. She's like, all right, I'm sending you something. I said, what? She goes, I'm going to send you something. All right. So I got an email from her. And Lily, our friend, producer extraordinaire, genius, in her farewell gesture for the show, she, I just downloaded it and it made me laugh because I'd said, open with iTunes. So I open it with iTunes and it just says, "Ear dirt dirt. Ear dirt dirt." Lily took my voice and made a yurt dirt dirt ringtone, which is going on my fucking phone the second I can figure anything out. And I know you're thinking, God damn it, Mike, that's hysterical. I can't believe that you have a yurt dirt dirt ringtone. Well, let me tell you this, folks. You too can have a yurt dirt dirt ringtone. We've put it up for download on the Westside 86 Jokers page on Facebook. That's our fan club page. So anybody in the fan club obviously is going to go ahead and get it if they want it. Nobody wants my stupid voice in their phone, but who cares? It's there for you if you do. And then you'll match me. You'll match the star, folks. You'll match the talent. Look at what we'll have in common. It'll be great. And how can we get it to people who don't do Facebook? Because I hear from people who don't do Facebook all the time.
They can email you.
Okay. You can email Lily, and she will go ahead and send out all of those ringtones that you would need. You said email you, right? Correct?
No, email you.
Oh, email me. Oh, okay. I'm happy to do it. So if you want a ringtone from me, I will just go ahead and upload it to you, send it. We'll send you a link. But you can get it on Facebook and download it right from there. If you're a Facebook person at the Westside 86 Jokers Mike Schmidt fan club page. Has anybody downloaded it yet? We put it up.
It is now Aaron's ringtone.
Aaron,
Oh,
hooray.
it's his alarm ringtone. That's even funny.
Oh, that's right. You can make it your alarm to wake up. So good for Aaron. I'm glad that he's got that. And so you can go and get it too. And if you are not a Facebook person and you want a yurt dirt dirt ringtone, go ahead and write me and I'll go ahead and shoot it off to you and I'll email it and you'll have it and it'll be great. And then you'll match me and then you'll come with me on the road and you'll say, hey, look at my ringtone. And I'll go, dude, that's an amazing ringtone. And we'll share a moment, the two of us. And then you'll leave and I won't mention you the next week and you'll let me know, what the fuck, man? Why didn't you mention me? God damn it. I knew this would happen. Because that's how I read Lisa's email. I knew this would happen, you dumb fuck. What? Actually, she did include the 3 dots, so it was like I knew this would happen, you fuck. I'm sure she knows that. I knew she knew that I knew. And look, Lisa, I know that you know that I know that you know, but I know what that means. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.